Thank you. Hey, pre-notification gang. Doing any food dip tonight? I'm not sure. We will see. Yeah, just showered. Yeah, we didn't do Forged in Fire last time, I forgot. We can do it tonight. Do I want some wacky conspiracy theories? Oh, I love conspiracy theories, sure. Hit me. Did you watch the Snyder Cut? Yeah, man, I moist metered it. I started Devilman Crybaby. I just didn't get into it, man. Thanks to Tier 1 Violent Defiler. And thanks to the resub Fisher. Raid last night was amazing. Oh, she was super wholesome, yeah. That was really cute, actually. Thanks to the resub Wheeler. Is there going to be a part 2 to the gun range video? Yeah, we shot a bunch of dildos and shit, put them on RC cars, and had a pretty wild time, so that's part 2. Post that some point this week. Thanks to Prime Slouch, Devil Fruit, and resub Unsainted in Tier 1 Chica. Yep, just showered. Thanks to the Tier 1 Zane and Prime Djebel. Scizor 7 the Dub? Is that an anime or something? Thanks to resub Nameless Knot and Thanos. Do I think Ludwig's subathon is going to end soon? Let's see, how much time does he have left? I haven't checked today. It's going down steadily, yeah. He's got 30 hours left, I think so. He also paid his mods like 100 grand or 150 grand or something crazy. I don't know the exact number, but he paid them super well for all their hard work during this. It was super cute. Thanks to the resub, Blue Juice and John. And the 10 gift subs, Ace of Spades. Thank you, Ace. And the gift sub, BRD. I've watched Fate Zero, Apocrypha, and Unlimited Blade Works. They're all pretty good. Not great. I mean, Fate Zero is great, but Apocrypha's mediocre at best. Vinland is fantastic, Euphoric. Glad you liked it. Thanks to the bits, Cooper. Thanks to the resub, Keiko, Prime, Josh, Filthy, and resub, Bats and Cats. Okay, I can look into that later, Jello. Don't tell me. Wait, the ReZero finale? That was the last episode? Oh, fuck. I haven't watched the most recent one. No, it's not out yet. Comes out this week. It is? What? When does it come out? Let's give sub Cyaxis, Christy, and the resub Nick, Dragon, Deja Bube, Spiegel, And the 5 gift subs Avery. And the Prime Shrektacular. Thanks to tier 1 Smug, Ghibli, and resub Joripo. And Kleppy and Zetha. And thanks to resub Peepo. It comes out in 2 days. I'm getting a lot of mixed information. It comes out... Oh, it comes out tomorrow here. Either it came out today or tomorrow. And I didn't check today. So regardless, I'll watch it tomorrow. Thanks to Prime Takudo and resub Bronco, Stickman and Dogma, and the Prime Fraud and Jibe. Perhaps Grognak. There's a few I definitely want to hit tonight for sure. Well, thanks, Camino. Yeah, it was super sweet. Where to start vacuuming a room from Expert... Oh, I love Expert Village. Was that it? Where to start vacuuming a room? Okay. This? Well, I definitely don't know about the last one there, Rylan. But the other two, maybe. Thanks to the resub, Just in Time, Arcaniva, Tyler Willis, No Vowels, Julie, and Texas Assassin. And the tier 1 Angry Kind Man, the tier 1 Mad John and Prime Snowball Ninja, and gift sub Boominati, Corn Hub, and Callista. And the Prime Goats. Next to tier 1 Quio, and the resub Lasagna. Concepts. They were just concepts if we won Ghost. Thanks to the 5 gift subs, Crumple McStinky. Good name. And thanks to the Prime Rizos and resub Tori and Jawa. Yep, we're definitely going to do some more Defunct Land. I saw one that immediately fucking tickled my sack. In fact, I want to... No, I'm not going to start with it. I'll wait. I'll fucking wait. Thanks to the Prime Stinky Flower. And the resub Megap. Defunct Land is so good. Can't believe I never got into the channel until like a week ago. So fucking good. Thanks to tier 1 Waffles and resub Kuriaki and Bob Barker. And thanks to the bits Anthony. And the Prime Butt Sniff. And the Prime Bastardo and resub Froboy. Yep, I like Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's a classic. Thanks to the bits Zombie and John. My DIY fruit recipe. Okay, I'll queue it up. This? Oh, fruit smoothie. That didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work at all, bro. Are you tougher than the guy from Walgreens? Nah, man would beat my ass. That guy was wide as fuck. He was built like a brick fucking wall. Plus he's got that like old like drug addict strength. Like there's no way. Thanks to the gift sub Helva and the Prime Simple Jim, Santa Claus, and resub Rivet Gun, Bundabee, and Prime Stallion. Of course I've watched the Grapefruit Technique. Thanks to Prime Prom Queen. Historic Battle by Uncle Al. What's that? Never mind. I know exactly what this is. Not really what I'm looking for, but we'll do it anyway. Fuck it. Run it. There's a tier 1 Kant and the resub Koi, the Prime Nico.
It reminds me too much of a time before I knew who I was. Go! Psyduck! Psyduck!
Hello, Pulse.
So that's how it's gonna be now, is it? Well, let's see how you get along with my...
Oh, whoops, you're right.
Ducklet! Yeah, Ducklet! I just knew he was gonna throw me a curveball like that. Psyduck! You psychic! You know, I'm feeling a tad
Thanks
under
for
the
resub ZP.
weather. I don't think
It's
I
a
can
meme.
handle that today just yet. Oh, I see. What's the matter? Duck got your tongue? He's feeling a little bit under the weather. Oh, poor fella. Well, I can't do anything under these conditions.
I don't think it's bad or anything. It's just also not really something that I was looking for tonight. It's like kind of Xavier Renegade Angel if Hugh Neutron was the protagonist. The voice acting is great though, yeah, and it looks great. Animation top notch. Thanks to resub Nolan and Ranch Blessing. Channel name is Mr. E's Life Hacks. Oh, these just recipes? And you want me to go to number 5? Holy shit, we're going back in time. How to pump up a mosquito. What does that mean? Like how to hype it up? There's a prime problem in the resub Dova and Obsidian. Good to see Obsidian.
I thought it was time for me to tell you how I make my recipe for a smoothie, a fruit smoothie.
Thanks for 5 gift subs Zombrix and resub Nihilus.
Good. This is what I do. First, I start with my favorite fruit.
I used to have these all the
I
time.
happen to use fruit cocktail.
These are
14
super
ounce
good.
Size, no sugar added. You can use whatever fruit can that you want.
Thanks to resub Leo, Shane,
Now,
Treeman, John, and the Prime
because I
Jagston.
like my smoothie
Full
to
throttle
taste,
TV has full court cams.
more,
Yep, full court cams kind of boring. I like the clips.
milky and less fruity. If you want it to taste more fruity, you leave the juice in there. If you want it to taste more like a milkshake, like I was saying, you strain it.
I'm ready.
Now you put your can of fruit in the blender.
Oh, this makes me really want a fruit
And
cocktail.
take
Fuck.
a 14-ounce size.
I used to always eat ziti and fruit cocktail
coffee
for dinner
creamer.
every night when I was a little boy.
And you put
I
that
was a
in.
little baby boy.
If you want it flavored, you just get your favorite flavor. As you can see, I got French vanilla. And pour it in there.
I mean, this looks good. I mean, I don't know why you recommended this. I might actually just try this recipe.
And now you want to blend it till it's
Thanks to tier 1 Milotos and resub Jake and Gu Grinds. King Kong for me. I hope he wins. I think that looked good. I mean, you recommended it as shitty cooking, but it was far from shitty. I mean, that's like a simple milkshake. It's fruit cocktail and what did you dump in there? French vanilla milk or some shit? Sounds good. Yeah, Defunct Lane is so goddamn good, man. I've been real into it. Thank you for the 5 gift subs, Pink. It's good to see you again. Hope you've been well. Yeah, I was there for that base, babe. That was a super wholesome raid. I'm glad that turned out how it did. She seemed very sweet. I do know about Yesterworld, Wolfgang. At least I think I've seen Yesterworld. Thanks to the resub Triple Universe, Aliquas, and the Prime Scotty. Oh yeah, Masaso or whatever. Well, hold on. Let me see one more thing here. What does pumping up a mosquito mean? This has got me confused.
Mosquito by using your muscles.
Say what? You think you can pump me up? Let's see you try it.
What?
Let a mosquito land on a muscle such as that one in the forearm. Wait till you feel the sting, then start flexing the muscle.
What?
You will see the abdomen of the mosquito enlarge and enlarge and enlarge to the point that he will not be able to fly.
Is this like a fetish? What? Would that actually... I mean... I don't know enough about mosquito biology. Would that fucking work? Like if it was sucking your blood and you just started like flexing the fuck out of your arm to pump more blood to the area, would that like work? Yeah, it's like some inflation shit. Inflation fetish. Thanks for the 5 gift subs, Pierre. Hope you've been well. And thanks to the Prime, Nathan, and resub DJ, Dredgen, and the 2 gift subs, Kianian. I don't know if I'll do the Doom Eternal DLC. We'll see. Thanks to the resub, Helmet, and the gift sub, Bastardo, and Prime, Bald, and Bucket. Okay, so Masaso. And I already know all about Peter Kane. I've seen the Raven as a pet. This. That didn't work. That didn't work, man. It's like 20 servings of coffee creamer. Yeah, but it's for a milkshake. Which means it's good. I did not see that, Johnny, but that's pretty cute. Don't know if I can watch that then, Fluster. What a wholesome dude. I mean, yeah, he just likes pumping up some fucking mosquitoes, bro. Sorry to hear about the breakup, Scar, and you'll find someone better. Keep yourself distracted. Pump weights. Hit the gym, lawyer up, or whatever Reddit says. Thank you for the bits, Thule. Thanks for the gift sub again, Kiani, the tier 1 Asian, the Prime Mark, Jelk, and resub Sanch and Sherman.
This is Travis on behalf of Expert Village, talking to
Hey,
you
Travis.
about vacuuming. And what I want to talk about now is, how do you vacuum a room? Where do you start? Do you back yourself into a corner? It's almost like painting, if you're painting.
No, it's definitely not like painting. It's just fucking vacuuming, but yeah.
But what you want to do is when you come into a room, depending on whether it's your living room, your bedroom, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make
Travis
sure
definitely knows his way around vacuuming. That's for goddamn sure.
The entrance door
Professional.
into that particular room. Because
Looking
what
good.
that's going to do is it's
Not
going
his
to
first
allow
rodeo.
you to hide your feet prints after you're vacuuming. A lot of people are
Hey, Elemental, thanks for the
tedious
5 gift
about,
subs again. Thanks for the resub.
say you got
Apira,
company coming over. You want them to know
Orange,
you
and the
vacuum.
tier
Well,
1
you're gonna
producer
wanna
Jack,
start
and Prime Panda Bear.
on the outer edges of the room and pull yourself back to that doorway. That way you leave no footprints, you leave no track marks, and you can see that the room has been freshly vacuumed.
When does he vacuum? It's giving me blue
In this
balls. Come on now.
particular case, what I would do is I
Oh,
would start
yeah.
over towards a corner and back my way out, and I'll just show you what I mean
Thanks
by
to Gift Sub
how,
Waffles.
what we can do is actually put a couple of feet prints here on the carpet. Not sure if that's going to show
Oh,
up
damn,
over
Travis. Whew.
on the
Now we're getting
film,
wild.
but we'll do that, and then I'll show you how we can
Thanks for the 5
disappear
resubs,
that and
Cherry
give it
Cat.
that
And resubs,
freshly
Saggy
vacuumed
Nuts.
look.
Thank you, Cat. This is supposed to be where to start vacuuming, but he just started in the middle of the room. There's not really a technique to this. This is chaos.
So you can see how nice that looks when you actually pull the carpet back and there's no feet prints. Give you a nice fresh look.
Expert Village videos were literally like hostage videos. I wouldn't be surprised to learn that these were all filmed in like ISIS or something. These things are creepy. I don't even understand why this got made. So his whole thing is where to start vacuuming, and then he just makes feet prints and says vacuum it. Like, this shit is so weird. I've always loved Expert Village, man. Thanks for some Starfire and the tier 1 Huggabee Beans and the big tier 2 Apostle of Golem and the 5 gift subs Witcher. Hey Witcher, hope you're doing well. 2001, An Anime Odyssey. Woo! Skip to 130 to avoid the music. Thanks for the gift sub, blood. I spelled Masaso wrong? Okay. So what is this?
No matter what you've heard.
So I've talked to some Japanese people, and they say that, and I say that I'm going to talk to you, and they go, "Why?"
The Japanese media
What?
uses the word in a negative way.
Thanks for 5 gift subs,
to refer
Mandoik.
to kind of creepy people.
And Hammer.
I go by the DJ name Johnny
Thank you.
Otaku. Hardest working anime fan in the Tennessee Valley, and damn proud of it. I will be playing you some of your favorite music from a lot of your favorite anime, such as Ramna, Tenchi, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, and many others.
Fuck yeah, let's go, Jonathan Otaku.
To someday be an anime voice actor.
Anime.
This is Captain.
It's like how
Porno
SpongeBob
here.
says karate.
I consider myself a stage actor. Oh,
God, those are some golden pipes.
I mean, you can make Nazi be a good word.
It's really
What?
the quality of the art.
What does that have to do with
draws
anime?
me in.
I'm an artist and I find the artwork very good, very inspired.
Oh shit! We're going in! This is wild.
American pro wrestling needs
Chief Kaiju Officer.
with like a spin of like,
What a cool title.
I don't know.
We don't know anything about the art of wrestling.
It's not so much where it is, it's just...
He's a tier 1 Doodle Clown and resub Serotonin and
fans
Xavier.
a lot better than the
And Sherwin.
mainstream adult fans because the anime fans tend to be a bit geekier.
If you're a movie fan, you have problems with literary fans. But anime fans, they seem to get along a lot.
Damn, what does his shirt say? This is like the grand master of anime fans. He got himself like the bone of an anime hater or something here, like the whole femur. This guy is like the grand sage of anime. What does that say? Project Megan? 12? I can't read it. Thanks to resub Dorm. Hope you're doing well. No. You don't have to make dick armor or anything. I'm super excited. And yeah, we can definitely hop on a call and go over things if you want. But no. It doesn't have to be dick armor. Thanks, Theo. Can't watch that though, even if it is censored.
A lot better.
Anime fans in general tend to be really smart.
The initial reaction was jealousy and anger that someone other than them has exposed anime to a larger audience. I think that they wanted to be the ones to uncover this gem. Somebody put
Wow, nothing has changed in 20 years then, huh?
They call me the Antichrist.
I would trust an anime fan with my children's lives.
People would.
I mean, who wouldn't? Fuck yeah.
Threaten my life. You raped our daughters and killed our mothers, and
what?
We know where you live, and we'll find you and track you down. I mean, it's really, they would make dartboards. I became the object of
what?
Fan scorn.
What happened?
Everybody hurts.
What the fuck just happened? Wait, who was that? Carl Masick? What happened? So the storyline here was that he brought anime to the West or something, and anime fans didn't like that? What the fuck happened? I'm gonna look it up. Thanks for resub Lippy, Ace of Spades, Kipler in the Prime Stutter. Carl Masick. Okay, he was an American screenwriter, script editor, voice actor, director, casting director, dialogue and voice director, storyboard artist, and producer on numerous English language adaptations of anime during the 80s and 90s. His work is considered by many to have been instrumental. Here, I'll just pull it up on screen. I don't know why I'm making it like a fucking secret Wikipedia page. Okay. Mark became one of the most controversial figures amongst English anime fandom. Streamline Pictures dubbed anime were among the first to be available on home video as well as broadcast on cable. Over the years, he has seen his share of detractors and proponents. For a while, he did help to bring Japanese animation titles and series to the United States. His edits, rewrites, and mashups, particularly Robo Saga, angered many fans of the original titles and series. To this day, anime fans still remain divided between appreciation and scorn for his work. It's crazy. Literally nothing has changed in 20 years. Even back then, the weebs were fucking nuts. Holy shit. He died of a heart attack. Okay, so it wasn't... Okay. The video made it seem like it was far more sinister. Like an anime fan went to a Comic-Con where he was at and then brought out the old trusty katana or something. Still sad, still rough, but...
It has never been a
at least it wasn't what this video made it seem.
In fact, I think anime would be a good 5-7 years behind where it is now if it wasn't for the internet. Anime Turnpike is
Thanks to Prime Foxy, and the resub Zod, Amanda, Spider,
anywhere in the world. And
your main
like
guy,
it's probably
Cream,
the most,
Stablest Soup,
influential anime
and the
website
Prime
right now.
Alex.
People whom we consider
Resub mine.
guests and celebrities are really Joes and Janes, just like you and me.
Thanks to Prime Curse and the resub Roots
It
B.
was not easy to get hold of animation or anime.
Being a fan then was a lot harder. It was a lot harder. We'd watch whatever came on, you know, whatever our friends had, because that was all that was to be had.
It was most.
I mean, you don't have to watch bad anime.
Very, just pretty much.
It's not like a
about
vital
social
nutrient.
People getting at a friend's house, they'd watch a 20th generation VCR copy of a Japanese TV show that had been off the air for 5 years.
There's Prime
and
Spider.
we'd huddle in this small dark room.
Haven't
20
seen that
people,
anime guy.
And we'd watch on this 12-inch TV, black and white TV screen with the only Japanese-speaking person up front translating the dialogue.
I've been doing this since 1989. Animego is one of the first companies to release anime.
Is that a... That's a VHS tape!
Toonami on
Holy
Cartoon
shit.
Network.
The attitude here at the office is that as long as you work hard, you get to play hard.
Yeah, figurines all day, baby. Coming on figurines. That's how we do it.
Show. 3 of them dropped on the floor, started going, "We're not worthy, we're not worthy." I looked at that and said, "Oh my God, I'm out of here," and I ran.
One of the things that bring otakus together is, of course, having cons.
Oh, we're going in. This is cool. Well, I mean like the video, not necessarily the convention. I just mean like the video's cool. It's like a nice time capsule into the history of anime. Like the one time period and time space people wouldn't want to visit.
For the past 2 years, I've worked as a staffer for Anime Week in Atlanta.
Basically, all I've been doing is running around and making sure that everything is running semi-kosher. Yeah, I was wearing sandals this afternoon, blistered my feet all to hell.
Makes sense, I guess. I mean, you could have just got a different pair of sandals, I'm sure, but you could just go barefoot too. I guess it's more in the spirit of anime.
OtakuCon, Katsucon, Anime North, Anime Central,
Anime
Garugamesh,
Expo, Otakon,
Sakura-con.
NekoCon, Project A-Con, Nandescon, Beacon Call, to all anime fans.
Thanks to the 5 gift subs, Tay-Day. And the Tier 1 Dankstar, Galactica, and the Prime Speedy and Spider. And the resub Hoisey and Trout. And the gift sub Socks. Good to see you, Socks. Hope you've been well, Socks.
So you have anime conventions which are purely fan-based and they focus on specific fans.
We thought that San Francisco would be the ideal location for it.
This is its first year.
Yaoi is what they do is they take
Yaoi? This existed in early 2001?
and they pair them up differently usually than is intended in the canon.
Manga and anime.
I thought that was like a newer genre.
Men having relationships with men.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me make sure there's no like actual hentai in here. Seems good. Wow, this is a long video. Holy shit. This is a whole full-blown, full mass direction history lesson on anime. Well, anime fandom. This is cool. Okay, it seems fine.
And it's meant for women to enjoy.
I know for me, as a woman, it's a big turn on to see pretty long-haired guys doing it with other pretty long-haired guys. In some people's
Okay, wait a minute. Actually, these didn't show up in my skim. Let's double check. I feel like we're going further and further into just full-blown dick. How does Twitch feel about anime pubic hair? Because it looks like it's probably not even worth the risk, to be honest. No dick, but there's a couple pubic hair shots, which is... I guess that's its own genre of manga, too. It's not worth the risk. I'm just gonna skip the pubic hair scenes. Okay.
and what they see on Cartoon Network.
And it
I really would kind of like to just see the unedited version of this. What is the documentary called? Or maybe this is just the guy who made it. Nope, this is definitely just the guy who made it. So he edited this. Thanks to the resub Rambo. Super awesome username, Razor, Tassix, Silver Conduit, and the gift sub King Kokas. And the bit sucks. Hey, well, I'm hoping things look up for you then, Socks. Godspeed, my man. And thanks for the bits, Manic. And thanks for the resub Ant Time.
You know? I don't know.
He has an album of every Hooters he goes to. He's got pictures of every single waitress.
San Diego. This is Richmond, I believe, up in New York.
This has nothing to do with anime.
We've all had our
He just takes pictures of his Hooters waitresses.
You know, I had mine,
Good man.
Sailor Cupid.
Completely normal.
They say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Oh, here.
There's a tier 1 kitty cat and a tier 1 true.
At a convention now.
We met
The Prime Orville and resub Lefty, Steel Play, and Steel Play.
and I was walking down the hallway and I was wearing a schoolgirl uniform. He needed to ride home, and so I took him home and I kept him apparently.
By the authority vested in me to speak on behalf of the community of wisdom and law, let it be known to all that from this moment on, in the eyes of God as well as the eyes of humanity, Robert and Emily are now husband and wife.
Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Emily.
He just puts his arm up and like shoots off into the sky with his wife. Straight out of an anime.
This restaurant down there in Hampton, they were all anime fans.
Okay.
What the hell are these people doing?
I'd like to start the anime.
That guy's like Kinsama. Like that guy is Kinsama from GTA RP personified in the real
For
world.
the costume contest, Lord Gargoyle of Atlantis, Neo Atlantis. Ladies and gentlemen,
Lord
thank you very
Gargoyle!
much for that very warm reception.
In the past, there would be a certain group of people that would love to dress up.
Thanks to the 5 gift subs, Papa Mock. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mock. I feel so bad for anime fans during this period, because anime back then wasn't nearly as popular as it was now, and people would get like made fun of for liking anime and shit. Now you're weird if you don't like anime on the internet, and it's like the most popular shit. Pioneers. These were the trailblazers. They paved the way for us to enjoy anime without being insulted, or insulted as much. Heroes. Thanks to tier 1 Hizana. And they give sub Tassix and resub Mad Dog. A Hot Wheels garbage truck? No. You hold on to that. That's a rare Pokemon right there.
Cosplay is both the costuming and the play.
guys with foam hair.
Makes sense.
Who will beat you up.
When you see a
Can't argue
40-year-old
that.
guy or a 50-year-old guy dressed up as his favorite character, you start to wonder.
I'm just a glutton for attention.
It's because a person finds a character that they can really identify with.
Never been a fox, I'll be a fox. You can do it for laughs. A lot of them are done for humor.
Oh, here we go. Wait, is that it? Full documentary is called Otaku Unite. Oh, yeah. Oh, furry. Nice. I didn't even notice. I wasn't looking. So this is like one of the early adopters of furry fursuit culture. Good for him. I mean, it's a little rough. It's not nearly to the quality we have now. Now we have like fucking carbon fiber bulletproof fursuits. This is very lacking in this department. It's like Spider-Man 1 when he first goes to like the Macho Man Randy Savage fight with that costume. You have to start somewhere. So do we want... Well, let me see how long Otaku Unite is. Fuck, it's an hour. Nah, I'd rather just watch the clips. It's too long.
Iowa.
Thanks to the resub,
Meredith.
Yoon and Tori.
Daytona.
There's some political commentary that's in the works about this whole cosplay thing. Some of the people that are running it kind of rink with the stench of hypocrisy.
First cosplay costume I ever wore, believe it or not, was Tuxedo Mask. In fact, I was working at Kmart at the time, and when no one was looking or it was closing hours, I would go into the floral section, get some plastic red roses, and actually practice my marksmanship.
Jonathan Otaku's, he's a wild boy.
Costuming that I think some Hollywood costumers would love to see.
Thanks to Tier 1 Seasonings and the Tier 1 Cuban fella and the 5 gift subs Liam. Thank you, Liam. Thanks to the resub Nightcrawler.
If that. Usually about 15 minutes to get everybody up on stage. Most of it was previews, announcements. Masquerades are lasting 2-3 hours.
Otacon's cosplay had only 8 kids, and now, my God, geez, number 172, number 173. Oh Lord, when is this gonna end?
Unfortunately,
thanks to resub Jay and the Prime Judykins.
And it has been noted by several other cosplayers that at Otakon 99, the judging was rigged. Big time. But
why does he care about the judging so much?
You'll see a lot more of me during cosplays tonight, trust me.
People see...
He is very upset about losing the first place.
Raises questions as to, well, that costume's really neat. Where did it come from? And the questions lead to answers, leads to exposure, leads to an expansion of the entire genre and building of the fan base.
You had a costume, you had a skit, you had an idea. There's a stage. There's the
Dr. Disrespect, holy shit!
Or however long
Vintage Disrespect.
Have a ball.
Just that Otakon 99, baby.
It's nothing like that now.
No, Hive Mind ended last week. That was the finale. Oh, is this the contest he was talking about that was rigged? Whoa, hey, Jesus, Jonathan. Christ. Jonathan, it's a... Oh god, he's doing a titty dance. Jonathan, it is a cosplay contest, not a strongman contest. This guy definitely wins. He's at least athletic. He did a flip.
And the winner of the cosplay contest is Fan Fiction Inuyasha.
No, he did it! What? Good work, Jonathan. The editing's getting real crazy now.
It was rigged. It was rigged. Really? Yeah, it was rigged.
Oh wait, did he not
I
win?
do some pretty outrageous things when I do my skits, and they're not exactly what you call Academy Award stuff, but they make me happy. It makes the audience happy. It would be
I
nice
agree.
if they had an award for most unique performance or something like that. If not, just make a goddamn Jonathan Cook award.
Thanks to the resub Nate and Philosopher. Yep, I've actually already seen that one, Penguin Lords. I think we even watched it on stream. And thanks to the bits Greco and Burt Bread. I'm gonna look up Jonathan Cook myself now. Let's see. Let's see if these are real stories. This is not the right Jonathan Cook. So this is unfortunate because there is a... Wait, what? It says Jonathan David Cook is an American actor and producer, and he's done voice work. He's done anime. In 2008, he was King Drasil in Digimon Data Squad? Is that right? And he's done a lot of video games? No, is this the right Jonathan Cook? You bet your sweet ass it is. He fucking did it, I think. No, wait. This is confusing. It says he's a disc jockey, so maybe he did like impersonations on air or something. God, this is very confusing. Son of a bitch. Thanks to the resub, Tiger and Dari-chan. I did not see that nobly, but actually Matt, Danny, and I were talking and praying that we could get Arcadium to do D&D with us. I would love if he's interested to do D&D. Especially if Donkey and Ludwig are involved. I think it'd be a really fun group. We could all get a nice D&D campaign going. Thanks for resub safety pins. Hold on, let me pull that up before I forget. We all really like Arcadium's work. Where do you see that? Oh, there it is. Thanks to the resub Andromeda. Thanks to the resub Phoenix. Yeah, hold on. We'll do the next video in just a second. I want to see if Jonathan David Cook really did hold fucking Funimation hostage. Or if that was just like a joke in this video, because I cannot tell. I'm thinking it's a lie. I think it's just a joke, because I can't find anything on this. Yeah. What a shame. No closure. Well, that was a wild video. Thanks to the resub Roopster, Matt, and the gift sub Rhinery. Yep, very familiar with that channel, Davey. Probably not good for just chatting night, because each video is like an hour long. I just googled Johnny Otaku. I didn't get anything except what we already saw in the documentary. Oh, I typed in Jonathan Otaku. Hold on. Still nothing. Oh, yeah. So the harassing thing is real, it seems. Yulcon? Is that the right one? He was harassing a voice actress at Yulcon. But I see nothing about the Funimation thing. Okay. We'll move on, though. I can't fucking find it. Thanks to give sub Dookie Fresh and the Prime Spartan Gaming and the resub Kilgannon and Jordan. Nah, I've tried watching One Piece multiple times, but just never really enjoyed it. I am going to try again, though. Okay. Now, I definitely want to do Defunct Land, but I saw this earlier. Apparently, he made something on Disney Quest. This tickled my nutsack real hard, because Disney Quest, I loved Disney Quest. I used to go to Disney Quest as often as my parents would let me. This was the fucking innovator of gaming. Like, this shit was so cool. It was a 5-story arcade just filled with chaos, prepubescent hormones throughout the air. Everyone just enjoying cutting-edge technology. Like these goofy fucking games. It was so fun. Oh, Jesus. Thank you for the 40 gift subs Wanderer's Way. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Thank you, man. Thank you for the huge drop out of nowhere. I don't know about that, Zach. Thanks to the resub Swan. And the resub Furiniel, Yoshi, and the tier 1 Audacity Hedgehog. Really? Thank you, Wanderer's Way. So, I'll give you a brief lore update. Disney Quest was taken down in 2016. They demolished Disney Quest to put up a fucking NBA experience where you go and just play basketball, like you shoot 3-pointers. You pay $20 to shoot balls, and then it's a merch store, so you just get like NBA merch, and then you can shoot 3-pointers a little bit. It's fucking terrible. It's dog shit. I like basketball, but I don't know why I would pay fucking $20 to just shoot 3-pointers. It's dumb. But Disney Quest, in its death throes, like when it was on its way out, was one of the saddest places you could ever go. I went 5 months before it closed, and I didn't know it was on its way out. I went in late 2015, and it was fucking sad. Half of the games didn't work. There were actual shit stains all over the floor. It hadn't been cleaned in so long. There was only 4 employees that I could count on all 5 floors. It was absolutely disgusting. It was so sad to see it in that state, man. But I wish instead of demolishing it, they just upgraded it. Like, it's still such a good idea. A 5-story arcade is so cool. Ugh.
On September 28, 1995, the video game developer Sega announced plans for a new ambitious project.
So good.
Their goal was to create location-based themed entertainment centers, a hybrid of amusement parks and arcades, and place them throughout the United States. The concept was simple enough. Instead of putting arcades into malls, they wanted to put malls into arcades. In order to
would love to do it with Moon Moon as well,
PogChamp.
Champ. I'm definitely up for it.
And insert them into complexes complete with small
Cro-Magnon.
shops and food courts. Sega had tested the idea in Japan in the mid-'80s, and reactions had been positive. The industry seemed promising in the United States as well.
They had so many cool games.
Dave & Buster's finding success with a similar
There's a game
concept.
where it was Buzz
Sega
Lightyear,
had
you
the
get in a car and you
resources to
shoot
physically
bowling
build
balls at other
centers,
cars.
But it couldn't hurt to partner
I mean,
with
they
a
weren't
company
bowling
that
balls,
could
but they
drive
were
the
as heavy as
project
fucking bowling
creatively.
balls.
They would find a
Sound like
partner
it
in a familiar
shot by a fucking
entertainment
tank
company
shell.
that starts with a D. That's right, DreamWorks. Sega and DreamWorks announced their partnership to create a chain of indoor amusement centers named GameWorks, with filmmaker Steven Spielberg providing significant creative input. GameWorks would grow over the next 2 decades, opening over 30 locations both in the United States and around the world. The chain sounds a lot like another venture attempted by an even larger creative force. The Walt Disney Company and its subsidiary, Disney Regional Entertainment, would develop an indoor entertainment center for families named Disney Quest that would debut in 1998. However, Disney Regional Entertainment was not even created until over a year after the GameWorks announcement. So did Disney copy the idea? It's certainly not the first time.
Yeah, fuck yeah, they did.
Under the
It's
helm of
Disney.
CEO Michael Eisner.
They'll steal shit. Who gives a fuck?
Why? Out of all of the entertainment
That's what
concepts
they do,
sprouting
baby.
up in the 90s, why GameWorks? Most of the locations and attractions that Eisner imitated pose a direct threat to the amount of tourists that would be visiting Disney's parks.
The birthplace
But
of
GameWorks
Let's
wasn't
Party,
stealing any
Party,
business
Party
from Disney.
tonight. Yes.
The locations hadn't even been announced.
Fuck
So why
yes.
expand into an emerging...
I still have that.
small
Hold
town?
on, hold on. This is one of my prized treasures. Oh yeah. This is where it all began. The humble beginnings of Charles's music career, Disney Quest. Let's party, party, party tonight. Oh, it's so good. Buy 6 pounds of chocolate. We're gonna lose control. Yes, sir. And lose control we did. That place is fucking buried now. Play it? I don't have a CD player. I mean, I made a video with it. I can just play the excerpt, I guess. The song is a banger. Like, this is a song that you'll be singing all night. The title... here. Oh, yeah. This song slaps. This song fucking slaps so hard. Woo! So at Disney Quest you could make your own songs, and this is what I came up with. Thanks to give sub Jerry, and the resub Cropin, and Fizzy. Let me give sub Terex. And a DJ too! Uh-huh. Is this actually you singing? I was 8 years old. Yes, it was me singing. Such a good song. I mean, that song is timeless. That's up there with the greats, like the Bohemian Rhapsody for kids. God, what a good song. Thank you, Disney Quest.
Take on a company that has more experience and resources in that field. That risk does not seem to make sense from a business perspective, but it makes perfect sense if you look at it from a completely different angle. Who founded GameWorks? Sega and DreamWorks. Who founded DreamWorks?
No, obviously it's not fucking me singing. Christ, it was a phonetic alphabet. They had like some chain-smoking dude who could hit a few notes that would be like a stock sound you pick, and then you tell him what to say off of some sentences that you choose from. Obviously it's not fucking me singing. I was 8 years old. Literally 8 years old.
But there was something bigger going on here. Eisner was spiraling, and he was taking the Walt Disney Company down with him.
Thanks to resub Matthew. And the bits Los. Sample it for a gentleman song? I actually wanted to. I still do. I wanted to turn it into a Doom-style song and come up with like a crazy, violent, hyper-hardcore, gory music video for it.
Take a trek through a prehistoric jungle.
Yeah, it's something we're still probably gonna do.
A house that has not yet been built.
Would hopefully be a collab project with the Browning. The guy behind the Browning is such a good guy. I'd like to, we're planning a collab at some point.
You're gone, John. Your history. It's a computer-generated world where you see and move and feel. Will real life ever be the same?
Though it had been implemented into specialized use for fields such as medicine and engineering
Things
since the
1970s, and the
virtual
resub
reality
Solaris.
technology wasn't seen as ready for consumers until the 1990s. One of the first commercial uses of the technology would be the insertion of virtual reality pods into arcades, malls, and movie theaters. These had horrible graphics, constrained movement, high costs, and generalized filth. The system in one game
So not much has
could easily
changed.
cost around $50,000 to purchase.
Take that,
and
VR.
generally cost the consumer around $5 to play.
Now, VR is kind of
which would be
wacky these
closer
days,
to
actually. That's just
$100,000 to
disingenuous.
purchase and $10
VR
to
is
play
fucking
when
nuts.
adjusted for inflation. With the high costs involved, VR cafes began to open across the country, allowing patrons to try out the latest in VR technology. While excitement around VR remained, the
Here's a
boom
gift
of
sub,
VR
Cam
arcade
Mac.
games tapered
Three
off
sub
by the
Aces in
mid-90s.
Space,
By
Inkney,
then,
and Cynic.
the idea of VR had caught the attention of video game console producers, such as Sega and Nintendo, both of which attempted to create VR headsets for home use, both meeting less than ideal results. By the late 90s, the future of the medium was bleak, but GameWorks, and therefore Disney, saw potential. And
There was a
virtual
lot of
reality
VR games
and
at Disney
simulators
Quest.
would be the main attractions of
By that
both
I
of the
mean
playing
3.
complexes.
There were 3.
On June 20th, 1995, Disney announced that the Walt Disney World Resort Shopping District, the Disney Village Marketplace, would receive a major renovation. In September of 1997, it would be renamed to Downtown Disney. In its 20-year existence, the marketplace had already undergone a few major expansions. The most notable of these was the addition of Pleasure Island, an elaborate-themed nightclub district that debuted in 1989. This divided the complex in two.
Downtown
with the other
Disney
section
was really
being named
cool.
the
It's called Disney
Marketplace.
Springs
These
now.
two sections saw their theming slightly adjusted in order to fit the Downtown Disney renovation, and a new area, named Downtown Disney West Side, opened as well. This new section would include a Cirque du Soleil show, a Planet Hollywood, and a ginormous indoor theme park. Disney Quest opened its doors
There's a
on
Prime
June
Kimmy.
19th, 1998. There was little build-up to its debut, and the structure was nearly finished a
so
year prior
good.
to its opening, with Disney refusing to confirm or release any information, not even announcing its official name until a few months before. The public and the press were confused on what exactly would be inside of the large building when it opened, and Disney Regional Entertainment seemed the most
Thanks
confused
to Prime
of all.
Tracks.
The subsidiary's
Rip, it's
president,
coming well.
Art Levitt, acknowledged that the team was having a difficult time describing Disney Quest. It was more than an arcade, but it wasn't really a theme park either. When questioned in the months leading up to its opening, Levitt and other executives referred to
That
the
game
complex
sucked
as the
ass.
ultimate interaction.
This game is dog shit. This was like the central focal point when you first enter Disney Quest. On the first floor you'd come in, this is the first thing you'd see. It's like this dog shit ass fucking pinball hockey hybrid game that is just completely rigged. At random it would choose one of these little pods here to win, and no matter what you did, that pod would just fucking win. It was terrible.
Active adventure, which means almost nothing if you think about it. Disney provided a few press releases and promotional material, but overall, the debut of Disney Regional Entertainment's flagship concept was surprisingly quiet. Still, in the summer of 1998, a large crowd gathered to enter Disney Quest for the first time, not sure what to expect from the new experience.
Here's a gift sub Jordy.
Hello, I'm Michael Eisner. I'm here in the virtual reality studio where Disney Imagineers are creating a whole new world.
Oh, yeah, they are. It's a beautiful world, too.
Inside this headset actually allow you to step into the world of Aladdin on a magic carpet ride. It's called virtual. It's a world which only exists.
Yeah!
Reality.
Look at how cool the world is!
You see not just what's on the screen.
It's so
but
full
what's
of
above,
life.
around and behind you, and you control when you return to the real world. I wonder where the exit is. Oh well. Welcome to the wonderful world of Disney.
The building was a huge 5-story, 100,000 square foot blue box. On the front and back of the building, there was a large set of Mickey ears with Disney Quest in large print. The building had no
I might even
windows,
be in this
adding
video
to
at
the
some point. I
mystery
fucking
surrounding
lived
its
here for a
contents.
while.
Concept art for the complex
They
the
gave you
building
like a
slightly
season
different,
pass that was
more
just free entry for like a
three-dimensional
whole
style,
fucking year
also
for
incorporating
$100
the
or some
proposed
shit.
monorail
It's
track
crazy.
to the downtown Disney complex. Exterior ticket booths were located to the left of the entrance. Guests would enter on the ground floor, a simple yet elegant lobby. There were bronze busts of
Exit
famous
Tier 1
Disney
Red
characters
Cherry and the
placed
Prime
throughout
Fire
the room.
Beast. And
The
Risa
centerpiece
McLovin
was
in
an
Retro.
artificial sky, with supercalifragilisticexpialidocious surrounding the trim of the faux window. This was the setup to the illusion that the elevators were actually flying you to a new land. It was a subtle and fun touch.
Forgot about the gold
At the end of
elevators.
the lobby were the turnstiles to get on the elevator. Once through, guests boarded the highly themed lifts, named the Cyberlators. These
Thanks to the
featured
big
an
Tier 2
in-route
Undead
show,
Chum.
starring the genie from Aladdin.
Welcome, thank you.
This 45-second video explains to guests that they are being transported not just to the next level, but to a new location entirely. After this, the elevator doors opened, and guests entered Disney Quest. Like the classic castle parks around the world, Disney Quest was designed with a central hub, known as Ventureport. Upon entering the main area, guests could see a structure.
I hope he
that
goes
appeared
through
to
the
be a
majority of the
futuristic
rides. I
telescope.
remember, like the
Connected
big
to
rides, I
Ventureport
remember
were
most
4
of them.
bridges, known as gateway branches, leading out to each themed zone. These were Replay Zone, Score Zone, Create Zone, and Explore Zone. The Replay Zone, located on floors 3, 4, and 5, featured Midway on the Moon, a classic arcade where guests could play
this
games
was the most
like
boring
Pac-Man,
part.
air hockey, skee-ball, and
Yeah,
Tron.
kinda
An attraction
sucked.
called Buzz
Kinda
Lightyear's
sucked.
Astro Blasters
Banger.
also resided in this area.
Banger.
This was much different than the Buzz Lightyear dark rides that can be found at Disney parks throughout the world.
That is a
Disney Quest
full-blown
version was an
banger
attraction
alert
that
right there.
combined bumper cars with dodgeball. Each vehicle contained 2 guests. One would drive the car, and the other would fire dodgeballs at the other vehicles. The next zone
Those
was
were fucking
Score Zone,
cannonballs is what
also
you were
located on
firing.
floors 3, 4, and 5.
Shit was
the main game in
nutty.
this area was the Mighty Ducks Pinball Slam. Guests would stand on platforms and lean in different directions, controlling a
sucked.
virtual pinball on a large screen. Another game in the Score Zone was one of Disney Quest's premier VR attractions, Ride the Comics. Guests would don large visors and hold motion-detecting sabers, swinging them violently as they fought.
Oh yeah, now we're feeling it.
There were multiple bays.
Ergot was
Bays
in this
moved like
game as well, by
spaceships.
the way.
The last attraction in the Score Zone was Invasion, an extraterrestrial.
Riot Games ripped off Ride the Comics. Ergot was the main villain in Ride the Comics. Hold on, let me see if I can still find the pictures. Damn, it doesn't have the boss battle. Yeah, one of the main bosses that you'd team up on in Ride the Comics was quite literally Ergot. Well, this is sad. They didn't even, like, put their artwork online for prosperity's sake. It's just dead now. I can't even find, like, the promotional pieces. Well, I guess this is as close as we get. Yeah, this was one of the bosses. Quite literally was Ergot. He had like a little walker that he'd walk around on. That's a fucking shame.
Alien Encounter, an extension to the Magic Kingdom attraction that had opened 3 years prior.
Thank you to Resub
Invasion
Storm.
continued the
Resub
world building that
Grey.
extraterrestrial Alien Encounter began. In the game's
Thanks to
story,
the Tier 1
a space
Clazen
outpost
Pickle.
filled with American colonists is being invaded by alien monsters. In a moment of desperation, the President of the United States enlists the help of L.C. Clench,
Oh,
the chairman
yeah.
of Excess Tech, played once again by Jeffrey Jones.
Fuck
In a
yeah.
video,
Another
Clench
good one.
describes his new military technology, the XS-5000, that requires a pilot and multiple gunmen to operate. After the pre-show, players would enter the XS-5000 and be teleported
Thanks
to
to
the
Resub
planet,
Cat, T-Dog, and the Prime
operating 2
Pasoka.
joysticks. The gunman had the ability to shoot lasers or missiles, as well as capture colonists.
Oh.
The pilot would navigate the ship around and eventually back to the teleporter.
This is so nostalgic,
and also
holy
trigger
shit.
the ship to jump to get
Holy
out of
shit.
tough situations. The immersive experience used 3D graphics and a variety of
There's also a
multi-angle
pilot as
screens.
well.
During the
One of your
4-minute
friends
game,
pilots it.
players would run into some familiar-looking monsters, with grotesque designs similar to those found in the Magic Kingdom attraction. The third themed zone was the Create
Son
Zone,
of a bitch,
located
it's
on
so
the second
good.
floor. This area featured the Animation Academy, an interactive demonstration
Thanks, I guess,
similar
to
to
begin,
those
Dorm.
found at other Disney parks. In that, participants
That'd
were
be cool,
given a
Evan.
tutorial on how to draw Disney's animated characters.
This sucked.
One difference
This
was
was
that Disney
boring.
Quest version utilized digital touchscreens, while the others used paper. Due to this difference, the Disney Quest attraction was only able to accommodate 18 guests at a time. Other attractions in the Create Zone included Radio Disney Song.
Yeah, that's the place. That's where this banger was brewed. Let's party, party, party tonight. That came from the Songmaker booths there. They should have named one of them after me for the fire I created in this laboratory. It's almost fucking insulting that my name isn't on one of these booths.
Which allowed guests to create their own original song by mixing different styles, sounds, effects, lyrics, and more Sid's Create-A-Toy, a Toy Story-inspired area that let guests
Mediocre.
combine different toy parts to create a new
Wasn't
one.
horrible.
And Magic Mirrors,
This one
which
sucked.
allowed guests to take a picture of themselves and manipulate it into a cartoon.
It was just literally
The most popular
Photoshop.
attraction in the Create Zone was Cyberspace Mountain.
Mhm.
Cyberspace Mountain was a simulator ride in which guests could design their own roller coaster.
So good.
It began with a tutorial
So
presented
good.
by Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Fucking
explaining
Bill.
to riders how to properly construct their coaster. Cyberspace Mountain allowed guests to ride their creations in a simulator car capable of tilting, turning, and even flipping them
Oh,
upside
it was
down.
so
A more advanced
good.
version of this concept would later appear in Disney parks as the
Son
Sum of
of
All
a
Thrills,
bitch.
a 2009
It was
addition
cool.
to Innovations in Epcot. The last zone was the Explore Zone.
But it was kind of
located
Weenie
on
Hut
floors
Jr. because
1
if you
and
made the
2.
ride
Guests
too
could get to the
extreme,
area
they
either
wouldn't
by
let
the
you ride
stairs
it.
or
So if
from
you
the
did like
first
6
floor,
corkscrews
Aladdin
back to
themed
back, they
Cave of
wouldn't let you
Wonders
ride it
slide.
because the
However,
G-forces would
this
kill,
was closed
like
after
actually
less than
kill
a year
you.
of operation. The Explore Zone had 3 large attractions that were technological marvels for their time. The first attraction was Aladdin's Magic Carpet Ride. This attraction was another VR game that required a headset. Guests would sit on a motorcycle-like seat,
Let's
and
read some
after
Thomas
putting on
and
the
Ibom.
headset, would find themselves magically transported to Agrabah.
I
Guests
hope
would
you
ride
like
on
it,
the
Chris.
magic carpet while attempting
Jujutsu
to release
Kaisen's
the
great.
genie, who was trapped in the Cave of Wonders. The second attraction, Hercules in the Underworld, was a 3D attraction that took guests on an adventure with the characters from the film.
This one just
Groups of
wasn't good
players,
at all.
each with their own joystick, steered Pegasus and the heroes in an attempt to defeat Hades. The third immersive attraction was
This
the
one was
virtual
okay.
jungle
This one was
cruise.
kind of cool.
Guests would board an inflatable raft,
You'd row and
sitting
shit,
on top of a large pad
yell
in
at your
front of a
mom for
screen.
not putting her
The game
fucking back
started
into
in the
it.
Jungle Cruise at the Magic Kingdom before a virtual skipper sends guests to the age of the dinosaurs. The skipper accidentally drops the device that controls the time machine, and guests paddle down the river in an attempt to grab it. The pad below reacted to the players' paddles and the
They
flow of
spray
the
you with
water to
toilet water
maximize
too.
moves.
Yeah, you get hit with
A
raw
less
sewage
immersive
to really get
attraction in
immersed.
Explore Zone was Treasure of the Incas, which had guests drive toy trucks through a maze in order to win prizes.
Kinda
The
boring,
drivers
wasn't
operated
great.
the vehicles on a screen, and a teammate that could see the top of the maze would yell directions at them. Disney Quest also had a few restaurants that guests could eat at. These counter
And they were good.
were Food Quest, the Wonderland
They only like
Cafe,
sold French
and the
fries, and that was
Cheesecake
about it.
Factory Express, a smaller scale Cheesecake Factory concept exclusive to Disney Quest. Once guests had
Thanks for
explored
some
the entire
apathy and
complex,
toast.
they would walk down a spiral staircase and exit through the first floor gift shop. Despite the lack
Very
of
hard to
marketing,
find shit like
Disney
this now,
Quest at
Selden.
Downtown Disney was a success, sucking tourists and shoppers through its shiny new gates. However, Disney Regional Entertainment was not surprised or impressed by the crowds it initially drew. After all, it was located within the Walt Disney World Resort, catering to a dedicated, if not captive, market. In fact,
And
it seems
Charlie,
that Levitt
they
and Disney
marketed
Regional
directly to
Entertainment didn't
Charles.
view Disney Quest
I
Orlando
loved
as the
it.
chain's official debut. It was a mere test for the planned regional complexes, and the next Disney Quest to open would be given the fanfare one would expect from Disney.
Hi, everybody. I'm Janet Davies.
And I'm Jim Rose, and welcome to one of the most incredible places in Chicago this year. It's called
Chicago?
Disney Quest, and it's located on the corner of
Wait, they
Ohio
opened up
and
more
Rush
than
in
one
Chicago,
Disney
just
Quest?
one block west of Michigan Avenue.
JR, right behind us is a 5-story building that is an indoor interactive theme park. It is full of high-tech virtual reality games and gadgetry.
Thanks for resub, John G.
I tell you, it is 90,000 square feet of pure fun, good family fun, and I guarantee there is no place in the United States like this except
Oh, and
in
of course it will
Orlando,
be a
where
major
the
plot
original
point
Disney
coin.
Quest
And yeah, it was
is.
wonderful.
Before Disney Quest Orlando opened,
Of
Disney
course I've
Quest
seen that as well,
Chicago was
Blood.
announced.
That is a
This would be
classic.
the first of hopefully many Disney Quests throughout the world, with Disney projecting around 30 locations.
Holy
Disney Quest
shit.
Chicago opened a year after Orlando's, debuting on June 16th, 1999. The complex,
Oh my
located on the
God!
corner of Rush and Ohio, was given
Buzz
a large
Lightyear just
opening
blows up.
celebration, with an entire television special documenting the ceremonies. The building was similar to Disney Quest Orlando in that it was 5 floors, but it was slightly smaller at 90,000 square feet as opposed to Orlando's 100,000. Having Disney Quest in Chicago was an ambitious step for Disney, but it was also a decision that made perfect sense. Chicago was the third most populated American city, and it was also the birthplace of Walt Disney. It was far enough away from both Orlando
Who
and
cares if
Anaheim to
Walt was
deliver
born
Disney to
there?
an entirely new market.
Who's
And
gonna go?
DreamWorks was
His
set
kids?
to open a location just outside of the city in the summer of 1999 as well, but that was probably just a coincidence. The main goal of Disney Quest Chicago was to become the Magic Kingdom
There's a
of the
Prime
Midwest.
Lizard.
Due to
and
the lack
Bulba,
of
the
space for
Reese
the
of
Chicago
Mariner.
location, some of the features and games were forced to have fewer stations, but the main layout and attractions remained the same. While many locals were excited to have a Disney theme park come to their backyard, experts and journalists were more skeptical. Apart from the criticism of the complex's cheesy architecture not fitting in with the surrounding area,
True,
they weren't
very
sure
out of
whether
place.
Disney would see a return on the investment. Interest in both GameWorks and Disney Quest was dwindling fast. The ever-changing landscape of technology was diverting consumer focus to the internet and home consoles. And while the public was eager to experience both indoor amusement center concepts, the chances of locals becoming regulars was falling.
Where are the gamers at?
This meant that Disney Quest Chicago would
Let's
have
see some
to rely more on
gamers,
tourists, which did not bode well for a large-scale regional expansion. While critics lacked confidence in Disney Quest, Disney had far too much. The head of attendance calculating at the Walt Disney Company estimated that around 3 million guests would visit Disney Quest per year.
Pretty good.
However, this would have been nearly impossible, as proved by this quote from a 1999 article from the Chicago Tribune. The average length of stay is in the 2.5 to 3 hour range, so to cram in 3 million visitors a year while maintaining some crowd control, Disney Quest would have to stay open about 17 hours a day.
Shit, who did the math? Redditor?
At full capacity.
No, they killed Disney Quest.
No one had
with
learned
math.
anything from the opening of Club Disney, which learned nothing from the opening of Euro Disneyland. In late 1998, Disney had announced that a third Disney Quest would be built in Philadelphia.
Exit
This
Tier 1
location would have been
Siren,
located
resub
on the
pot.
popular Market Street as part of an
We can check it
ambitious
out, Bill,
redevelopment of the area. The city was thrilled to be chosen by Disney, and by the time of Disney Quest Chicago's debut, the space was being cleared in preparation for construction and was set to open in the summer of 2000. However, production delays pushed the project back to the summer of 2002. In late 2000, both Disney Quest Orlando and Disney Quest Chicago received a brand new attraction. Hercules in the Underworld was replaced by Pirates of the Caribbean Battle
This was
for
a much better version.
which featured large screens surrounding a miniature pirate ship that guests
This
would
one was
board.
cool.
Each player would have a physical cannon that would fire digital cannonballs at enemy ships. A more advanced version of the game's technology would later be used in Toy Story.
Oh, I don't know what to
Midway
tell you,
Mania.
Monkey. I'm sorry.
Players would also encounter a serpent that looked very similar to the Lego model that opened at the Downtown Disney Lego store in 1997. Guests playing the game would have to defeat the Jolly Roger, which was not an easy task, and the majority of players would lose the game, with their boat sinking.
Yeah, this game was hard as
It is
fuck.
worth
This was
noting
like
that
the
both
Dark
Pirates
Souls
the
of
Caribbean and
dead
Aladdin
VR
Disney Quest
games.
games were designed by Randy Posh, a virtual reality specialist and professor famous for his talk and book, The Last Lecture, which he produced before passing away in 2008. The new Pirates of the Caribbean game temporarily reinvigorated excitement in the Chicago
Thanks to the resub
location,
Hank,
which
the
had
gift sub
already waned
Gandalf,
in its 18 months of
the resub
operation.
Luca and Prime Hugh.
Unfortunately, it was too late. Disney Quest Chicago surprisingly did not live up to Disney's unrealistic expectations, and Disney announced that it would close the location on September 4th, 2001.
What?
The official reasoning was that the complex was simply not generating enough revenue for the company to justify
It
paying the
lasted a
expensive
year and a
rent
half?
of downtown Chicago. Also, the complex was diverting a massive amount of time and money that Disney and the Imagineers could be spending on more promising and more profitable projects. On top of this, reviews of the Chicago location had not been stellar. The lines were long, the price of admission, $16 for 2.5 hours of games, was too expensive for
That's
many, and the
pretty
complex did
good,
not
to be
deliver the Disney
fair.
magic that the theme parks could.
The
Disney
old
Quest
magical
Orlando
Disney
complemented
Quest?
the resort
I mean,
well,
shit.
but Disney Quest Chicago, alone in the heart of a busy city, felt cold and corporate rather than warm and colorful. Along with the announcement that Disney Quest Chicago would be closed, Disney Regional Entertainment announced that Disney Quest Philadelphia would be scrapped. Disney essentially abandoned the prime real estate in the middle of construction,
Really?
leaving only a large plot of dirt. Locals
Nice.
coined
Classic
it the
Disney.
Hole, and to this day, it has not been developed further than a paved parking lot. This, along with the closure of Chicago, slightly tarnished Disney's
Thanks to
reputation
resub Cries
in
and
both
the Prime
regions.
Spastic.
Despite the cancellation of all future
Thank
plans
you,
for Disney
B-Man.
Quest,
Hope the bad times
Disney
behind
Quest
you soon,
Orlando
man.
remained open, receiving little attention from the company and little to no updates. Apart from the closure of the Cave of Wonders slide and the addition of Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for Buccaneer Gold, the Treasure of the Incas interactive maze game would be closed after a few years of operation. Cell phone frequencies caused interference with the remote-controlled trucks, and on one occasion, one of the vehicles burst into flames.
That's
which
fucking
is terrifying
awesome.
Considering that this occurred in a building that had no windows and a main transportation system of a magic elevator. The space was eventually
It is a
filled
very
with
magic
Lisco
elevator,
Jumbo
though. They would
arcade
get you out.
games. The Magic Mirrors attraction closed in 2005 and was replaced with additional seating. And perhaps the most disappointing removal was the Cheesecake Factory Express around 2008. In 2011, the Cyberlator's screens were turned off, and they became just regular elevators.
Yeah.
A few years after this, to help promote the film Wreck-It Ralph, a large structure of the title character as well as multiple Fix-It Felix games were added to the complex.
Yeah, that
These,
helped Wreck-It
along with
Ralph.
a few minor additions and
That's
a
why
few
it did
major
so well.
closures toward the end of its lifespan, were the only changes Disney Quest Orlando saw. The subsidiary Disney Regional Entertainment lasted until 2010, when it closed 5 ESPN zones and sold 2 more. The branch dissolved, with Disney Quest being absorbed into Disney Parks and Resorts.
God
the
damn
indoor
it.
theme park was left to die, with Disney giving discounts on tickets and sometimes offering them for free with certain vacation packages. Finally, on June 30th, 2015, it was reported that Disney Quest was going to close at the end of 2016 to be replaced with a new
was
NBA
sad.
attraction. However, 2016 came and went, with Disney Quest staying open the entire year.
Really? Wait, what?
Until January 30th, 2017, that Disney would announce that Disney Quest's final day was to be July 2nd. To commemorate
I thought it closed in 2016.
Discounts made ticket prices, which had increased slightly in its nearly 2 decades of operation, exactly $19.98, as a tribute to the year that it opened. After 19 years of operation, Disney Quest closed its doors. The building sat abandoned for 1 month, until demolition began in August. Construction has begun on the NBA Experience, which is set to open in the summer of 2019.
And it sucks. It's
closure
trash.
Of Disney Quest Orlando,
Garbage.
along with the recent closure of Anaheim's ESPN Zone, brought an end to the ventures of Disney Regional Entertainment, with every location of all 3 chains now defunct. But what about Michael Eisner?
That's an interesting
idea,
idea,
to be
Peter.
largely absent from the development and debut of Disney Quest, unlike other projects, such as Euro Disneyland and Disney's America, where he was on the front lines promoting and explaining the new parks. He did endorse Disney Quest in newspapers and a few television interviews, but it seemed to be
Those
less
are
of a
typically more
priority
sad,
for him, and certainly not one of his passion projects. When the initial concept was pitched to him in the mid-90s, he told the Imagineers to, quote, "kill the project. Why should we go forward with it? So what if we can make money?" The exact reasoning for the strong reaction and what eventually changed his mind is hard to say. Maybe it was as selfish as the announcement of GameWorks, in his desire to take on his former partner and new rival. Maybe it was as innocent as the Imagineers strengthening the concept and presenting the promises of the new technology. Either way, the lack of attention on Disney Quest was typical of Eisner's second era. 1994 was the watershed. Frank Wells' passing, Euro Disneyland's failure, the defeat in Virginia, and his own health issues had turned the ambitious, creative executive into an unfocused, fickle, and often angry CEO.
Damn.
The development of Disney Quest was indicative of the
Fucking
state of the
blasted
company
Eisner.
for the tumultuous 7 years since Euro Disneyland's opening, and it was a mere preview of the mind-boggling creative choices and shocking business decisions that the next 7 years would bring. Their renaissance was over, and Disney was about to enter the 2000s. Buckle up. This is going to be a bumpy ride.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my fucking seat now. I don't care what anyone says, Disney Quest? Fucking paradise. That place was incredible. Except if you went there as an adult in like 2015, because that shit was just sad. That was a hellscape. Thanks to the resub Arkroom, Go-Go Mike, and Rain in the Prime. 1 year. Can't click links, Tibbs, but I do know what announcer you're talking about. It's a classic. SpongeBob 4D ride. Alright, hold on. I'll at least put it up here in a tab. Oh, they have the whole ride. Okay. Thanks to Prime Nobel and the resub Goth Girlfriend Girl Gamer. Thank you. I don't know about that one, Foreskin. Let me fill up my water real quick, and we'll do a little more Defunct Land, because I'm in deep on this channel. Channel's fucking great. Thanks to resub Cambuli in the tier 1. It's a trap. I'll be right back. Thanks for the resub, Grey Dog. What the fuck is up, team? I'm back. Thanks to give sub Full Metal and the resub Tim. Riviations and the Prime Zilla and Lane. Pexachu vs Godzilla. Okay, I'll queue it up. Is it Pikachu vs Godzilla? Because you said Pexachu twice now. I'm just going to assume it's Pexachu. Okay, it is. Thanks for the cheddar and the bit Z. And the gift sub Tibbs. Yesterworld. Oh yeah. I was gonna put that one up. I forgot. What the fuck is that thumbnail? Okay. Let's do some more Defunct Land first, though. Thanks to Prime J Ray and resub Randy Savage and Turdy Panda. The history of Disney's worst attraction ever, Superstar Limo. I don't know that one. Oh, because this was California. Yeah, I never rode this.
So, it's the lighting. It's getting the lighting and video just balance.
I think it's fantastic.
Mr.
Scary
Reisner?
stuff, sure.
Hi, Michael.
Oh, certainly,
Thanks for resub
Mr. Reisner. Sorry to disturb you, but I'm delivering to you Mr. Barry Bostwick and Mr. Richard Kind. If you'll just sign for them.
Really?
Yeah, right on there. Thank you very much.
Oh,
hey, Michael.
Richard.
Hi, Michael.
Barry.
Michael!
Yeah, we were told to meet the Big Cheese at the Disneyland Resort.
The Big Cheese? I'm not the big. I wish I was the Big Cheese. This is the Big Cheese.
Oh my god!
Gee,
Mickey!
for you all day. Well, I want to give you a personal tour of Disney's California Adventure. Ooh, what do you say we start with a ride on California Screamin'?
So, Mickey?
Yeah, this looks like shit.
You and me, and I love that ride.
Thanks to 5 gift subs Ironic and resub 2.
Okay, boss.
And Avery.
Okay, boss. You know, Mickey, I think this is the beginning.
Sounds good, Monkey.
Theme park.
You betcha.
It wasn't. And now the story of a company in panic, and the one CEO who just couldn't seem to catch a break.
So was Michael Eisner like the worst CEO of Disney ever? Like, this guy seems to fucking suck. He can't get anything right.
On July 17th, 1955,
There's
Disneyland
a 2 gift
opened
subs
its
to
gates
him.
to the public, and along with
Vince
elaborate
Leon.
theming, it had an expansive, magical parking lot. Due to its placement in Anaheim, Disneyland's land was
Oh, I
far
know all
from
about that,
sprawling.
G-Rant,
This
yeah.
made the parking lot prime real estate for any kind of expansion, including a potential second gate. While a variety of concepts for a second park were proposed over the years, it wouldn't be until 1982
Exit
that
Tier
the
1
Walt Disney
Sonic
Company would
Lewis.
seriously begin to consider it. On October 1st of that year, Epcot Center in Orlando, Florida's Walt Disney World opened. This created the Walt Disney World Resort as it is known today, and it made a multi-day vacation to the resort necessary if guests were going to explore all of the offerings. 2 years later in 1984, it was
Take it
becoming
easy,
increasingly
Queen.
clear that despite
Thanks
Epcot's
to resub
success,
8-track.
Disney as a company was not doing well. A string of box office failures from their studio and big budget projects for the parks had brought Disney to the lowest point in the company's history.
The fuck is
and
Splash?
many feared a takeover. In a bold move by the company,
Oh,
then
wait.
CEO and President Ron Miller, then by the company.
Hold on. Is this the, Yeah, hey, wait, I know Splash. When I was a kid, there's a scene in Splash where the mermaid has her titties out. And you can see side boob. I used to pause that scene occasionally. It wasn't my go-to movie, but I used to watch that occasionally to look at titties when I was a young man. Fuck yeah, I didn't know that was a Disney movie. That's Tom Hanks, baby. Let me type, I'll just type it in splash titty scene, maybe? Splash titty? Nope, that, whoa, wow. I don't know what I was thinking with that. I don't know if I can find the scene, but yeah, it's a classic. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Takeover.
Had no idea
In a
that was
bold move
Disney.
by the company, then CEO and President Ron Miller was ousted. and Michael Eisner was brought in as the company's
Thanks to
new
Tier
CEO.
1.
Eisner had big plans
Mia's
for the
Lost
company,
and the Tier
the
1
most notable
Optimus,
of which were to
Spike,
turn the company's failing studios
Resub
around,
Nick, maybe
make the
not,
existing Disney
Vibe
parks
Baby,
more
and
appealing to
8-Track.
older audiences, expand
I don't know
internationally
what that
with
is,
the addition
McNaughty.
of a European park, and finally make Anaheim a multi-day resort with the addition of a second gate. In 1987, the Walt Disney Company acquired the Rather
Thanks to the
Corporation.
resub, Greg.
Decades earlier in the mid-1950s, Walt Disney had asked oil tycoon and television producer Jack Rather to build the Disneyland Hotel, since Disney lacked the funds, having spent most of his money constructing Disneyland. Since then and up until Disney's acquisition in 1987, the Rather Corporation had owned the Disneyland Hotel and property near the theme park. The obvious next step
Thanks
after
to resub,
obtaining the
Muckmeal
necessary
and
assets was
Greg.
to finally build a
By the
second
way, I
theme
popped up
park in
twice.
the Disneyland Resort. And it might have been that
Resub,
simple,
Mattman.
had Eisner not gotten distracted. Apart from the Disneyland Hotel, the Rather Corporation also owned the RMS Queen Mary, a retired ocean liner that was permanently docked in Long Beach, California. After Disney acquired the Rather Corporation, Eisner became interested in transforming the Queen Mary and surrounding land into a new resort called Port Disney. Port Disney was to feature
very
hotels,
ambitious.
a cruise ship dock, and an all-new ocean-themed amusement park called Disney Sea. Eisner pitted the cities of Anaheim and Long Beach against one another, trying to decide whether to build Disney Sea as
Holy
the second
shit.
gate to Disneyland Resort or build it in Long Beach within Port
Imagine
Disney.
if he
The
actually
announcement was
made
in
that.
January of 1990, and Anaheim and Long
What
Beach both
the
worked with
fuck?
Disney
That looks
in order to bring a new
nuts.
theme park to their city. However, the citizens of both cities were not.
This man was straight building Atlantis.
Citing the issues the residential neighborhoods of Anaheim already faced due to the existing park. This, along with a variety of other legal, logistical, and budgetary issues, caused Eisner to announce in late 1991 that plans for Port Disney and Disney Sea had been scrapped in favor of an alternative idea that the
Thanks to Prime
Imagineers
B-Star
had
and
developed.
resub
Due to the
Villain
popularity
Views and
of
the gift
Florida's
sub
Epcot,
Dorm.
Eisner and the Imagineers
Yeah, I
believed
watched
that
a
a
lot of
West
Tim and
Coast
Eric.
version of the park was the best idea for Disneyland's second gate. The park would have been almost identical to Epcot, with a few notable changes, such as a larger spaceship Earth, improved future world attractions, and a much different world showcase, including a steel dragon coaster in the Asia Pavilion and a boat cruise around the entire world. Westcott was
For
announced
some
at the
reason,
same
raid
time as the
notifications aren't
cancellation
going
of
through.
Port
I
Disney
really
and
appreciate
Disney
the raid.
Sea
I'm
in
sorry, man.
1991. 1 year later, Euro Disneyland
I didn't
would
know.
open, which,
I've
for
been
a
had,
variety
like,
of
raid
reasons that are
notifications
too long
haven't
to
gone off the
discuss
last
here,
week or
failed
so.
horribly. The budget for the parks division was cut dramatically, and as ideas for Westcott grew, it became clear that the company could not afford such an expansion. But Eisner did not give up on the Disneyland Resort, and despite the issues, went forward with his plans for a second park. Eisner had a simple technique that he often used when he decided on new projects.
What
The
will lose
technique
us
is
the
known
most
as
money
jealousy.
quickest?
Whenever Eisner saw another
Classic
company
Eisner.
doing something successfully, he decided that Disney would do the same thing. Moreover, he would take the idea and do basically the same thing in basically the same place. For instance, after seeing the success of the amusement park zoo hybrid Busch Gardens Tampa in the early 90s, he greenlit Disney's Animal Kingdom. The park was just over an hour from Busch Gardens. After seeing the success of the Church Street Station nightclubs in Orlando, Florida, Eisner greenlit his own nightclubs in Pleasure
So this guy
Island
was just
at the Disney
plagiarized.
Marketplace. Pleasure Island was
And
about
still
half an hour
couldn't
from
do it
Church Street
right.
Station. So when Westcott was canceled and Disney returned to the
Fucking
drawing board,
Eisner.
it wouldn't be long until Eisner was presented with a new idea. Since the Disneyland Resort at the time provided such
His
a
whole
short
career was
visit
just
to
copying
vacationers,
homework
many of the guests
badly.
would go explore the other tourist offerings of California after their trip. Disneyland president Paul Pressler recognized this and pitched an
Thanks
idea
to
to
resub
Eisner.
Noah and Draco.
If Disney could provide all the sights and attractions of the state of California within the Disneyland Resort, then guests would have no reason to leave and spend their money elsewhere. This concept would develop into the plans for California Adventure, a California-themed theme park to be located in the already California-themed California. Concept art for the park was released in
Who cares about
1990, a year
California
after
that
Westcott
much?
was canceled.
If you want to
The release date
experience
of
California, just go
Adventure would
outside
feature
in
everything
California.
from soaring above Yosemite Valley to the glitz and glamour of Hollywood movie making. The original concept art from the park had a sense of serenity, and it seemed to be designed as an intimate, romantic tribute to California. In the Hollywood section of the park, there was to be a
Who needs a
recreation of
fucking
the
tribute to
theme,
California?
the observation
What
deck,
the
and
fuck?
former restaurant at the Los Angeles International Airport, which was being renovated by Walt Disney Imagineering around the time that California Adventure was in development. This was to be the show building to one of California Adventure's
Oh my god, this word is losing meaning. I've heard it so many
Superstar
fucking
Land,
times.
a high-speed dark ride that would
Eisner
take
proposed the
guests on a wild
California,
paparazzi
Californiaception,
chase
California in California
As guests
Adventures,
boarded the
California,
attraction, they would be greeted by Michael Eisner himself. Eisner would tell guests that they had to get to the big premiere at Grauman's Chinese Theater as soon as possible to sign a contract for their next film. But he warned guests that the paparazzi were all over town, and if they were caught doing anything to ruin their image, then Eisner would have to cancel the deal. The limo driver would then floor it in an attempt to get guests to the movie premiere on time. According to Disney historian Jim Hill, the ride system would have been a
Thanks to Prime,
combination of a
Nintendo,
traditional dark ride
Wheatman,
and
the
a
resub
family-friendly
Luge,
roller
and
coaster.
Nasty.
The ride would have also included a variety of jokes and gags. For instance, guests would fly past the famous Tail of the Pup hot
Thanks,
dog
Valentine.
stand
We
with
actually
a
watched
large
all of
man
Chains
in
of Love.
rhinestones creating sounds of flatulence. But as guests turned the corner, it would become clear that this was actually Elvis Presley squirting mustard onto a hot dog. The ride ended with guests reaching the Chinese theater, only to have Eisner tell them that he would have to cancel the contract because they had been caught by the paparazzi. Then, a picture taken of guests while on the ride would be shown, cropped into a tabloid reporting on their limo chase. After this, guests would exit and walk the red carpet into the Chinese theater, which was the gift shop and exit to the attraction, where fake Oscars, on-ride photos, and t-shirts would have been sold. The original concept of Superstar Limo was nothing groundbreaking, but it seemed that it would have been a fun dark ride that would have fit perfectly in the Hollywood section of the park. However, the mid-90s version of the attraction would not be the one that guests experienced when the park opened. And this time, it wasn't Eisner's fault.
I can't even believe that. Eisner paid him to say that.
In August of
this was Eisner's fault.
In Paris, France, Diana, Princess of Wales, was killed in a limo accident. Her driver was supposedly fleeing from paparazzi when he lost control of the wheel. The tragedy captured the attention of the entire world, who grieved the death of the princess and the other passengers. As for Eisner and his team, they now had a big problem. Superstar Limo could no longer be a high-speed paparazzi chase.
Yeah.
It would now seem that it was some sort of twisted reference to the tragedy. The Imagineers scrambled,
Eisner got fucked on that one.
Cloning a Disney MGM attraction to the Anaheim Park. Top contenders were the Great Movie Ride, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, or Rock and Roller Coaster, which at the time was still in development. Of these, the Tower of Terror was probably considered to be the top contender, as Eisner was heavily pushing for the idea of a ride-hotel hybrid. On top of most everyone besides him thinking that this was a bad idea that logistically would be problematic, if not impossible, it was also clear that the budget for California Adventure would not allow for this, or any of the other potential attractions, which meant that the Hollywood section of the park would not have a ride on opening day. Or would it? Forced, whether by situation or executives, to write a treatment for an acceptable version of Superstar Limo,
Superstar
the
Limo!
Imagineers had a few solutions. 1. Remove most of the references to paparazzi. 2. Remove any high-speed element by having the limos inch forward through the show building. And 3. Add more setting-specific jokes and gags.
Okay.
The idea wasn't good, and the Imagineers considered Superstar Limo to be dead. Unfortunately, if their job was to please the boss, they had done it a little too well. Eisner, who had been in the entertainment industry for decades, adored the inside jokes and Hollywood gags.
Jesus Christ,
so much
Eisner.
He greenlit the new, terrible version of the attraction. Imagineering, most likely baffled at what they now had to do, did their best to make the attraction work. This included scrapping the Chinese theater gift shop, and adding the theater as a show scene in the ride in order to fill time. After budgets were slashed even more, the theme building exterior was scrapped in favor of a cartoonish cutout look. This art style was also used within the ride itself. The only three-dimensional animated figures would be that of celebrities. But due to the lack of budget,
who was that, Jared Fogle? Who the fuck just popped out there?
Disney company already had contracts with. Also, these were not animatronics, but barely animated figures with minimal, unconvincing movement. At some point,
who's that?
Realized that
That's
the ride
Regis?
was going to be bad. So he made a few quick changes to save face. First, he removed a reference to DreamWorks animation that read Dream
Tier 1
Jerks
Voorhees and the
Animation,
resub
which
got me.
referenced the ongoing feud between former president of Walt Disney Studios Jeffrey Katzenberg, who now worked for DreamWorks, and Eisner. Also, Eisner asked Imagineering to remove him from the ride, and the on-ride footage was replaced with a sleazy Hollywood agent barking orders at guests, proving that Superstar Limo foreshadowed more than one catastrophe. The retooled ride opened with California Adventure on February 8th, 2001. So was it as bad as they thought it would be? Yes. Yes, it was.
I want to see it. Let's fucking ride it, baby. Get me on there with a GoPro. Let's go.
Here and around Hollywood Boulevard, there's lots of fun.
Thanks to the Prime Redman and resub Win.
All geared to bring out the Hollywood in everyone. And if you've ever wanted to be a star, then you have to ride Superstar Limo.
I bet he did not want to say any of that.
From the moment you board your limo at LAX and journey through Malibu, Beverly Hills, Bel Air, and Hollywood, you are Hollywood's newest sensation. Hey, enjoy your 15 minutes of fame, babe.
Woohoo!
The cartoon cutout exterior of Superstar Limo features a variety of landmarks from Los Angeles, such as Union Station, City Hall, and the Beverly Hills Hotel. One section features the world's shortest
Is Charlie
railway,
even human?
Los Angeles'
Nah, I'm a
Angels
level above
Flight.
human.
The
I'm a
railway,
gamer.
which was constructed in 1901, had recently reopened, but an accident resulted in the death of a passenger on February
Thanks,
1st,
Amy. What do you mean 5 out of 10?
Exactly 1 week before California Adventure and Superstar
Gotta change
Limo
that scale.
reopened. However, the prominent reference on the queue's exterior would not be removed. Another interesting feature was the flower bed that was decorated to look like a pool. After making their way into the queue, guests would find themselves in the baggage claim area in the LAX airport. The inside jokes to California and the entertainment industry would begin with a female announcer giving instructions to arriving passengers.
Try not to fall asleep on the ride. That's the only rule.
No schmoozing.
Oh, hey, that was the only rule.
Guests
Fuck
would
yeah,
encounter
good
television
guess.
screens
I'm a
and
genius.
An entertainment news report featuring a horrifying puppet version
Thanks
of
to
the
Prime
late Joe
Cream.
Rivers. Rivers would describe Hollywood's next biggest star, who was set to arrive at LAX that day. The star turns out to be the guest entering the ride. In this queue area, there were more cartoon cutouts that helped foreshadow what a terrible experience guests were about to have. One example of this was a baggage carousel with packaged Oscars. After guests winded their way through the queue, they would approach the ground transportation section of the airport and board their limo, a sparkly, purple, cartoonish limo.
Hey, that looks
The
pretty
cast
cool
member
if you
guides
ask
them to
me.
their cars and tells them to enjoy their premiere.
That's a
Guests
solid
are then
whip.
sent on their way into their
This is
soon-to-be
fucking
room.
drifting around corners.
An announcer tells them to keep their hands, feet, and egos in the limo at all times. Ha! The limo enters a dark tunnel.
Hey, don't be
and
mean to
guest
the ride.
agent
What the
appears on
fuck? It's not
screen
their
attached
fault. They
the
didn't want to
ride's
do it.
vehicle. Despite being a creepy, gross puppet, this turned out to be the most realistic part of the ride.
Don't be late, babe.
The first showroom is Beverly Hills, and Regis Philbin pops out
Thanks
of the
to Prime
door,
Manhattan,
fanning himself with
Cringeburger,
money.
and
Next up,
Bugley.
Melanie Griffith with Antonio Banderas,
And Chase.
then immediately following, Cindy Crawford. And this is just the beginning. The next show scene is the Sunset
Pretty cool.
Strip. Here, guests get to see Tim Allen and Jackie Chan.
Tim
After this, guests
Allen!
enter a second tunnel
And
are
Jackie
reminded by
Chan,
their agents
yeah!
to not be late. The third show scene is Bel Air, where guests can see Drew Carey with a handful of star maps. Guests also run into sponsors trying to get them to sign advertising deals. A third tunnel features another reminder from their agent before the Malibu show scene. Here, guests encounter Cher, standing in the corner of the scene as if she doesn't want to be there. The limo then enters the studio lots.
This
Guests
looks
encounter
awesome.
Paparazzi, screenwriters, and production assistants, all represented through cheap cutouts. After this, guests arrive for their premiere, where none other than Whoopi Goldberg greets them. Guests are shown an on-ride photo of themselves before entering the final tunnel, where their agent tells them that they are a superstar. And
Thanks to
that was
Sub-Zell
Superstar Limo.
and Hookins. I don't know why he called it the worst attraction ever. That shit looked fucking awesome.
Go over to Superstar Limo.
Yeah,
No,
why?
Well, because I'm on it.
Excellent.
That's right, because you're here at the California Adventures, right next to Disneyland.
Exactly, located right next to Disney.
I've always wanted to see Tim Allen.
The picture of me at Superstar Limo, it looks exactly like you. Just can't believe it. Really? It's like a photograph.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Now, this is not a scary fast ride, right?
No. This is just like a
You don't get it. You can't just experience it with a video. You have to be in there and feel the hydraulics and the adrenaline of like being in the car as it slowly drives through. It's not the same with just a video.
This is a really easy ride to go on.
Yeah? Okay.
JCC in sync. Woo! Let's fucking get it.
There's Regis Philbin. And that's my final answer. Introducing vivacious Melanie Griffith and dashing Antonio Banderas. Wow. And there's
Yeah, I just need to smell Tim Allen coming up. Yeah. That's why you gotta be on the ride.
There's Tim Allen.
Hold your sides, everyone. It's Funny Man Tim Allen. Welcome to Bel Air.
Look at that.
How about a map to your house, Drew Carey?
Isn't that Robert Zemeckis?
Hello, party. Hold your breath now.
Whoa! Look at how much fun Drew's having.
Why, the always entertaining Cher. Movie.
Wow, this is one hell of a ride.
Hollywood favorite, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, we're having fun.
There might be no better way to
Wow.
illustrate the reaction the public had to the ride than the on-ride photos. It is no surprise that the ride was received negatively, with guests complaining
Can't
that they
imagine
waited
why.
a half hour to ride the cheap pop-up book. Superstar Limo was not the only issue. California Adventure as a whole was berated by the general public and critics alike.
But overall, the lines were so short at times out here. I thought it was closed.
Thanks to Tier 1 Brad Dude and the
concept was
resub,
bad,
the Prime
the execution
Corruptions.
was worse, and
Resub
Superstar
Con.
Limo was unforgivable. It is no surprise that on January 11th, 2002,
I do kind of
less than a
Tibbs, I just
year
don't
after
watch
the
it
park
actively.
opened, Superstar Limo was closed. Management had no replacement in mind. They just realized that guests visiting California Adventure would be a lot happier if they never experienced the attraction. The building sat abandoned in the Hollywood Pictures backlot for 4 years. Rumors circulated of various redressings that the ride could undergo. Jim Hill reported that the Imagineers were considering retooling the ride into Goofy's Superstar Limo,
Why?
where Goofy would drive guests through Hollywood, and the C-list celebrities would be replaced with classic animated
C-list? You're calling
To pull this
Jackie
off,
Chan
Disney
and
would take
Tim
over
Allen
100 Disney
C-list?
figures that had been placed in Disney stores throughout the United States.
I mean, the ride
and
wasn't
move them
good,
into
but let's
the new
not discredit
show
them.
Another idea was to reopen the ride as is, and over the course of a few months, introduce animatronics of the Muppets cast at various points in the ride. These characters would be wearing hard hats and be actively renovating Superstar Limo as guests rode through it.
Oh,
The
that
Muppets
sounds
would also be
interesting,
commenting
Seaman.
on how horrible the
I'll put it on
current
another
version of the
tab.
ride was. The finished product after the transformation would be Miss Piggy's Superstar Limo. Of course, neither of these ideas happened, and the building continued to sit abandoned. It wouldn't be until after Eisner stepped down from CEO in 2005 that the Superstar Limo space would receive a new attraction. As the first step in what would become a $1.5 billion
Sprixie.
expansion and
Yeah.
renovation to California Adventure, the new management team constructed the Pixar-themed dark ride, Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue. The simple dark ride would take guests throughout the events of the first Monsters, Inc. film, and it was set to open on January 23rd.
Looks like shit. Boo, where's
But
Tim
that
Allen?
is
Oh
not
wait,
the
Tim
end
Allen
of
actually does
Superstar
voice in
Limo's
this, doesn't he?
story. Oh no. The ride very much lives on.
Tim Allen is in Monsters, Inc., isn't he?
Since the Monsters, Inc. dark ride was a quick fix.
No?
for the park,
Okay, alright.
coming a year
Boo,
before
fuck
the
this, no
major
Tim
expansion,
Allen.
It didn't have the budget to bulldoze the space and start over. Quite the opposite, really. In order to save money, the Imagineers decided to utilize as much of Superstar Limo as possible. This included retrofitting the cutout exterior with door designs, which actually matched the film's intro animation, repurposing the limos into Monstropolis taxis, reusing the track layout and some of the tunnel sequences, and there was one more thing. Oh yeah, they stripped the
click link
C-list
Sonic, but
celebrity
wouldn't
figures
watch
and
that
dressed
tonight
them into
anyway.
various animatronics throughout the ride. Some of these Zombatronics are more obvious than others, and the Drew Carey and Jackie Chan figures are especially easy to spot. But don't worry,
Yeah!
most, if not every figure in the ride was reused in some way. While the new ride has received mixed reviews, and its inclusion of the previous attraction's assets is unsettling to say the least, it is a far better dark ride than Superstar Limo. While Disney might wish they could erase Superstar Limo from the memories of the unfortunate park guests that experienced it, it is still important to remember the ride and the other missteps of California Adventure. The story is a good reminder that even a company as big as Disney can still get themselves into financial difficulty, creative gridlock, and even some pretty wacky situations.
That is
On the
pretty
next
wacky.
Defunct Land, Michael Eisner learns the differences between building a park in Tokyo and building a park in Paris.
God, the channel's so fucking good. Oh, it's so fucking good. That reminded me of something, and I can't remember what it was. Let me queue up what you suggested, though, Seaman. I don't know if that'll be something I watch on stream just because it's a full fucking movie, but let me see if I can find the clip. Yeah, we'll do one more Defunct Land and then go to the other shit. Alright. What the fuck did that remind me of? There's something I was gonna mention and I don't remember now. Oh, I remember it. Does anyone like California? Do you guys, like people that live there, do you guys like it? Because I've only been once and I fucking hated it. Shit is way beyond overpriced. And the traffic is literally 45 minutes to go a mile. Fucking hated it. Getting mixed reviews in the chat. Jesus, is everyone in the chat right now from California? What the fuck is this? Was fascinating horror an option? It's always an option, Socks. I'm up for any suggestion, but I've been on like a big binge of like pseudo-educational shit. Appreciate it, pinchy ass. It's getting too expensive now. I went in 2016, a single meal. I got a meal at some fucking restaurant. What was it called? It was like a bar restaurant called like this. Was it the Study or something? The Schoolyard, or it was a name like that. Got a single meal at that bar. It was $80. Got like a fucking pair of chicken tenders and a beer. And it was like $80. It was absurd. Like everything in California, I mean, I'm exaggerating a bit, but it was like 3x what it costs anywhere else I've been in the fucking world. Like, it was absurd. And the traffic was nuts. It actually took me 45 minutes to go a mile. I was staying at a hotel near where I was, like, going. And to go from the hotel to that place was like a little over a mile. And it was like a 45-minute drive in that traffic. It was crazy. It's fucking crazy. Thanks to resub Sprixie, Eat, formerly known as Turtle, and the Prime Bumifus. Okay, one more defunct land. The failure of Disney's Chuck E. Cheese ripoff Club Disney. Yeah, let me see what the most popular video from defunct land is. Oh, the Nickelodeon. Oh, we've watched like all the most popular ones. History of Disney's scariest attraction. Euro Disney failure. Hong Kong Disney failure. Demolition of Six Flags. What do we want? Dancing Outside 69, some tweaker activities. I'll check it in another tab. That's pretty cool scene, and they shot it on an airsoft field. I'm thinking the Chuck E. Cheese one as well. Here, I'll type in the Dancing 69 thing first. There. Definitely can't watch that, cringe. I've also seen Take Me Out. Let's do the Chuck E. Cheese one.
The year was 1996, and the Walt Disney Company was in a very peculiar place. Walt Disney Studios...
Actually, hold on, give me 1 second. Let me tinkle. Sorry, I don't mean to blue ball you here, but I'm going to take a little tinkle. Give me 1 second. I'm back, team. Oh, baby. Thanks to Tier 1 Rose Petal and resub Penguin Host.
was riding high, as they were in the middle of the Disney Renaissance. A return to form had yielded a plethora of box office success, while the rest of the company appeared to be in a state of disarray.
Oh, sweet
Jeffrey
Katzenberg, it's all just luck,
president
man.
of Walt Disney Studios, was forced to resign by CEO Michael Eisner in 1994. This was because Katzenberg had demanded that Eisner appoint him to president after the death of Frank Wells had left the position vacant. Many prominent Disney shareholders and board members did not want Katzenberg as the president of the company, and Eisner, who saw Katzenberg as hungry for power and acclaim, did not feel comfortable promoting him. After he left,
it's better than
Katzenberg would
bankrupting
form
the
rival
company.
animation studio DreamWorks SKG and would sue Disney for promised royalties that he had never received. The lawsuit would be settled a year later in 1997, with reports saying that Disney paid Katzenberg almost $270 million. In 1995,
oh yeah, the farming simulator
Eisner had appointed
esports. I forgot
Michael
about that.
Ovitz, the founder of the world-renowned creative arts agency, to the position of president. For a variety of reasons, this did not work out. Eisner would dismiss him from the company just over a year later in 1996. Ovitz would walk away with a severance package of nearly $140 million. During all of this, Eisner himself would cash in stock options of nearly $600 million.
Holy
Money
shit!
was flying all over the place at the Walt Disney Company,
What
but none
the
of it was going to
fuck?
the company's other major division. Disney Parks had gone on a roller coaster of its own.
No wonder he didn't fucking care about making Disney any good.
Disney decade was
Good
not going as
God.
planned. Many ambitious and creative projects were scrapped by the mid-90s. Disney's America was announced and then canceled.
Is it Tier 1
Disneyland's elaborate
Screed and the
Tomorrowland
Prime
renovation,
Skater?
Tomorrowland 2055, was announced and then canceled. Disneyland's second gate,
Oh, it
Port
looks so
Disney,
cool.
was announced and then canceled.
That looks so cool, though.
Disneyland's other second gate, Westcott, was announced and then canceled. Epcot's New World Showcase pavilions and renovated Future World pavilions were announced and then canceled. A bunch of Indiana Jones attractions,
Holy shit.
a bunch of Muppets attractions, and a bunch of Toontown attractions all were announced and then canceled because of one bad egg. Euro Disney. The resort just outside of Paris,
What?
France had gone way over budget and failed spectacularly, causing a domino effect throughout the company. Euro Disney was not the sole reason that all of these projects were canceled. For some,
Does
there were
Euro
many
Disney
other
still exist?
causes, but the failure was always part of the decision, and more often than not, it was the deciding factor. Whether for financial reasons or personal hesitation, Eisner slammed the brakes on the Disney decade, but he still felt pressure to capitalize on the strong brand
He's a
that
tier
the
1
studios had
rich
created.
homie and the
Plus,
tier 1
the United States was
TLOW
experiencing
and
an
Prime
economic
Body
boom during this time, allowing
Big Scumby.
families more leisure spending. All signs were pointing Eisner to an expansion of the parks, but Euro Disney, Disney's America, and the other failures were still on his mind. This led him to what seemed to be a brilliant compromise. In 1996, Eisner created a new subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company named Disney Regional Entertainment.
Which
This
failed.
division would plan and execute Disney entertainment venues throughout
Just
the
learned
United
about
States.
that failed.
With this, the company would be able to profit off of its successful properties in an interactive setting similar to the company's parks in Anaheim and Orlando. However, what Eisner was planning was no Disneyland. He had something much cheaper in mind, and something much more 90s.
It all exists and is known as Disneyland Paris. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, that was a crazy intro. Damn! This is on fire. Like Full House. He's a tier 1 moldy. Fascinating Horror is a channel. Oh, okay. Thank you, the good sucks.
Defunctland is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Was that
In
Killer Bean?
1990s, the Wild West of
They get
themed
Jeff Lu to
entertainment.
voice that one?
Apart from the recent developments of the theme park industry, local entertainment was booming throughout the United States. Shopping centers that had existed for decades were being transformed into miniature amusement parks, with niche stores and small attractions taking over. Themed restaurant chains were sprouting up all over the country, with the usual suspects being Rainforest Cafe, the Hard Rock Cafe, and Planet Hollywood.
Oh, Planet
The most
Hollywood was so
unexpected of the
good.
New developments might have been the
fuck?
rise in
The place was
indoor
great.
children's play places. These were a mix of tubes, slides, ball pits, nets, stairs with steps
Stupid
taller
kids
than your
having
body,
fun on a
socks,
boring course.
socks with holes in them, vomit, disinfectant, those net bridges that your feet would get stuck in, a kind of terrifying helicopter thing where the mean kids would jump up and down and it would shake a lot. The open slides with only like one hill, which was just a waste. I mean, I climbed all the way up there. I'm gonna take the tube slide. And rug burns. So many rug burns. McDonald's opened its first indoor play place of this kind in 1987. This allowed parents to dine while their children played, and the concept was met with glowing reviews. McDonald's would continue to add play places to their restaurants, and others would quickly take note and expand upon the idea.
Running swing here? I don't think so.
Damn, marketing was so different back then. Holy shit.
I don't think so. Then where?
This is like some TikTok shit.
DZ is made just for me. The place where I can really cut loose.
What the fuck is DZ? D's nuts or something? Like, what the fuck is this? I've never heard of DZ. Discovery Zone?
opened its first location in Kansas City, Missouri in 1989. The facility featured an elaborate play place, a ball pit, a rock wall, an arcade, a maze, and a variety of other activities for children. Discovery Zone was a popular venue for birthday parties and group day trips. It also advertised itself as a good place for kids to engage in fun fitness activities. The company would quickly expand, opening 39 more locations until being purchased in 1992 by wealthy Chicago businessman Donald Flynn. In less than 3 years,
Donald
the chain
Flynn,
expanded
big
to
man.
340 locations. McDonald's had noticed the competition, and in 1991 had created their own chain of indoor
I don't
amusement
know about
centers
that.
named
Num-nums.
Leaps and Bounds.
It's too nostalgic.
McDonald's would not be able to keep up with Discovery Zone, and would sell all 48 Leaps and Bounds locations to the company in 1994. Around this time, Blockbuster Video, who owned about 20% of Discovery Zone, would up its stake to 50.1% and would assume control of the company in 1995. In hindsight, this was akin to Radio Shack investing in Toys R Us.
Thanks, Blaberneb.
The rapid expansion of Discovery Zone would prove unsustainable, and the company wouldn't make it to the 21st century. They filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in 1996, and would do the same in 1999, this time ceasing operations. Over 100 locations closed immediately. This brought a flood of horror stories of children showing up to the center for their birthday party, only to be greeted by a note on the door informing them of the closure.
Aww.
Some of the franchised locations remained open, and 13 fun centers, along with the Discovery Zone name and logo, were purchased by the company's main competitor, a powerful rat named Charles Entertainment Cheese.
That son of a bitch. Wow. That is horrifying. What the fuck? I cannot believe this place was successful. This is like actual horror movie shit. Like, that rat is fucking methed out.
Started by Atari founder Nolan Bushnell, Chuck E. Cheese's opened its first location in San Jose, California in 1977. Bushnell had always had a respect for the Walt Disney Company and their theme parks, and he wanted to create an elaborate entertainment experience of his own. He would combine video games, animatronics, and pizza into a restaurant called Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater. Bushnell would expand this restaurant into a chain, and by 1984, the company had over 250 locations. Unfortunately, this same year, Pizza Time Theater would declare bankruptcy due to debts acquired through expansion, the declining interest in arcades, and in some cases, multiple restaurants that were located too close to each other, virtually splitting the potential profit of an area. The remaining locations would be quickly bought by rival chain Showbiz Pizza Place, which was started by a Chuck E. Cheese franchisee in 1980. Showbiz Pizza did not rebrand any of the Chuck E. Cheese restaurants, and the two chains would eventually be merged in 1990, with Showbiz Pizza Time Incorporated choosing to go all in on the Chuck E. Cheese brand, abandoning Showbiz Pizza's animatronic band, the Rockafire Explosion, in the process. Throughout all of the
Showbiz is going in on the technology there.
250
those animatronics look smooth.
Locations in 1992, with all of them being renamed to Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza before dropping the pizza from its title in 1995. On top of their arcades, animatronic shows, and pizza, Chuck E. Cheese's began investing more in indoor play places to compete with McDonald's and Discovery Zone. It was around this time that the Walt Disney Company took note of the success of these companies. While they might have been late to the game, they expected to fit right in. After all, Discovery Zone had been described as an indoor Disney World, and Chuck E. Cheese's used Disney as a major inspiration during its development. If Disney utilized the same concept, implementing their attention to detail and intellectual properties, they could dominate the new market.
And dominate they did.
In 1996, Eisner appointed Art Levitt to the president of Disney Regional Entertainment. Levitt was the perfect person for the job, and it wasn't the first time that he and Eisner had done business. At 28, he was a salesman at a Los Angeles furniture store. One day, Michael Eisner himself walked in looking to purchase some items for Disney. The fact that the CEO of one of the world's largest corporations was concerned with something as small as furniture was a true testament to Eisner's micromanagement. Levitt and Eisner apparently hit it off, and he was quickly named Director of Corporate Projects and Executive Assistant to Eisner. During his first tenure with Disney, he would also become an executive in charge of
just because he fucking gave him an over-the-pants hand job at a furniture store?
Locations, including the Disney Village Marketplace and its Pleasure Island nightclub district. Levitt came up with the idea for an ESPN-themed restaurant to be placed on Pleasure Island. In 1993,
how do you even convince the board of directors to accept that?
A company that
I was shopping for furniture, and you got to meet this guy, Art Levitt. I mean, he's such a nice guy. He gave me like a fucking fist bump and shit. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in charge of our whole company.
After becoming the president of Disney Regional Entertainment, he would head the creation of 3 national chains for the Walt Disney Company. The first was their attempt at a children's indoor amusement center to be named Club Disney. Club Disney is a now little-known project of the Walt Disney Company. Disney intended to build the amusement centers in suburban malls throughout the country. The spaces were designed for weekend visits, school field trips, and birthday parties. It would also house family workshops. such as Poo-robics, which was described as a 10-week parent and child stretching and exercise program led by the beloved and befuddled Honey Bear.
Aww.
The complexes featured play places, educational demonstrations, animation tutorials, karaoke, and kid-friendly computer games in a lab called the Mousepad. The e-ticket attraction of Club Disney was of course the play place. These varied from location to location, with some being themed to a specific franchise, such as The Lion King or Hercules, while others were not themed at all. The play places had varying names, such as the Jungle Climber, the Color-rageous Climber, and the Supercalitoontastic Whatchamaclimate Time Toaster. Other attractions
fuck that
were
place.
a room themed
Dumb
to Peter
name.
Pan where guests could see their shadow, a swing themed to Tarzan, an activities area called Herc's Gym, motion-detected musical instruments on the Aristocat Music Wall, which sounds very similar to an attraction that used to be in Epcot's ImageWorks, an area for children under 3 called the Pooh and You Corner, a storybook time, and a variety of arcade games.
Cool name.
At some locations, there was a Little Mermaid-themed
Alright,
area
I'm just gonna go play
where
in the
kids
Pooh and
could,
You.
Quote, peek through the portholes of a sunken pirate ship and find a treasure, or chat with a friend on a cellular telephone. There would also be periodic dance parties themed to different Disney properties. These included the Lion King Limbo, the Mickey Macarena, and the Roger Rabbit Bunny Hop. Some locations had a room called the Applaudville Theater, where guests could dress as Disney characters and participate in a fashion show. There were also educational activities called Ed Ventures, and monthly activities, such as science demonstrations themed to Flubber. As with Chuck E. Cheese and Discovery Zone, a major focus of Club Disney was its elaborate birthday parties, with children getting to pick from a few options, such as Disney Princess Tea, Toy Story Search Party, Pooh-rific, Hercules Hero Hurrah, and 101 Dalmatians Bow Wow Bash. Some locations had a magician performing tricks as Merlin, and the cake for the parties was catered by the Cheesecake Factory. A child
That's
could
actually
only enter
nuts.
Club Disney with an adult, and both were given a
Cheesecake
special
Factory
wristband with a
bangs.
barcode.
I mean, that's
So
like
no
it's,
child could leave with
if
a
you don't know
different
what you
adult
want to
than the
eat, you
one
go to
they
the
came
Cheesecake
with.
Factory
This
and you
was
get a
to
whole
ease the
fucking
minds of
dictionary
parents,
full of
to
pages
allow
and
the kids
pages
to
of
roam
shit to
free
eat.
within the complex,
So
and to
many
ensure
different
that
food
no
items,
parents
all
treated Club
20,000
Disney as a
calories.
daycare center. The clubs also served Mickey Mouse-shaped pizza. Admission was $8 for kids and $4 for adults, which would be about $12 and $6 respectively when adjusted for inflation. There was also a large gift store called the Clubhouse Shop. One mother reacted to Club Disney's announcement by proclaiming, "Disney has invaded our lives."
Oh, that's a good question.
But I think
Who knows,
the children
Walt?
enjoy all of it. The opening day of the first location, which was part of a new mall in Thousand Oaks, California, began with a ceremony featuring Michael Eisner, Mickey Mouse, and Goofy. The head of attendance calculating at the Walt Disney Company estimated that over 10,000 visitors would show up on opening day. And surprise, he was a little off. When Club Disney opened its doors on February 21st, 1997, only 1,000 visitors showed.
Oh,
proving that
shit.
No one had learned anything from Euro Disneyland's opening. One sheriff was quoted saying, "We were expecting a lot more people. Maybe because Disney advertised that tens of thousands were going to be here, it
That's
scared
rough.
people away." Of the opening day crowd,
I see
10 or so
10
were
gift subs,
protesters
Tempest. Thank you for
accusing
the
Disney of
generosity.
paying Haitian
Hope you're
workers
doing well.
28 cents an hour to make Pocahontas-themed pajamas. The demonstrators were probably also disappointed that more people did not show up. Still, parents and children seemed to love the new complex, and 4 more would be built. Another in California, 2 in Arizona, and 1 in Colorado. Disney representatives had been enthusiastic of the chain's success,
Lisa Prime,
claiming that they were going to
Steve?
open another 100 clubs,
I
quote,
will be
as
playing
fast
Monster
as we
Hunter
can
Rise,
build
yeah.
them. While reviews were positive, Club Disney was not without its critics. One of the higher-end malls that Club Disney had moved into accused Disney of ignoring the complex's theming standards by implementing their cheesy design. Also, parents complained about the price of admission, especially the necessity for a separate adult ticket, as they were not participating in the club's activities and were required to be there.
True.
Club Disney
It's pretty
also
scummy.
proved that Disney was best off not teaching anything ever, as the Ed Ventures activities were the most highly criticized of the complex, with many accusing them of being a mere tactic to convince schools to sign off on field trips. In the end, Disney did not follow through with the plans for expansion, but not for these small complaints.
Extra Prime
The
dumps
company was
and
impatient with
cheese.
the investment, and less than 3 years after the opening of the first location, Disney
Appreciate
decided
that,
to
Oofy,
cancel
and
the
congrats
expansion
on finishing
and
law
shut down
school.
the complexes.
Huge
Club
congrats.
Disney was not the cash cow that the company had hoped for, and being the late 90s, Eisner was not in the mood to play the long game. The company was cutting costs across the board, and Club Disney became another casualty of the financial issues. The chain was closed on November 1st, 1999, having never expanded past its original 5 locations.
Jesus Christ.
This was around the same
That's
time
rough.
that Discovery Zone ceased its operations, leading many to believe that
Thanks for
indoor
finding
play
good
centers
subs,
were just a fad of the
Appreciate
90s.
it. Thank you for the
As Chuck E.
generosity.
Cheese's would prove, there is some longevity to the concept, so long as you innovate or evolve. As for Disney Regional Entertainment,
Chuck E. Cheese
Clark
hasn't
Disney
fucking
would be the
evolved. What are you
smallest
talking
of their
about?
3 projects. Another
Why is it
regional
still
chain
fucking
Levitt
weird?
would create was based off his
Well, I mean, I
original
haven't been
idea
in
for an
15 years. I don't even know
ESPN-themed
why I'm saying
restaurant,
that.
now possible thanks to Disney's 1996 acquisition of ABC.
There's the Prime Big Moist.
Hi.
Hi. How are you guys holding up without me?
Oh, we're okay. We were just watching a little TV.
Have the kids driven you nuts yet?
We've been keeping ourselves entertained.
Jess said she'd help you with the dishes tonight.
Well, the kitchen is spotless and dinner was great.
Wow, you should reward yourselves. Take them somewhere fun. That will have a huge impact on the league.
Yeah! ESPN Zone. What a cool place to be.
Part arcade, part gift shop, and part broadcast studio. It was such a hit among sports fans
The
that there were
5 gift subs
apparently
sucks,
points where
and the
guests
5
would
gift
have to be
subs
dragged
man didn't
out for
start.
staying an
The
excessive amount
back-to-back
of
gift
time.
subs.
The ESPN Zone would also put on the ultimate couch potato competition, a sitting competition that challenged participants to watch TV without falling asleep or getting up, only allowing a bathroom break every 8 hours. One year, the winner watched TV for 3 straight days.
What the fuck? Wait, what?
ESPN
No
Zone
way
would be
someone
in
didn't
Baltimore
die
on
from
July
deep vein
11th,
thrombosis.
1998.
No way.
The brand would grow to a total of 9 locations, many of which would close in the mid to late 2000s, mostly due to the recession. And the only remaining location, at Downtown Disney in Anaheim, closed June 2nd, 2018
Exit
to
Tier
make
1.
room for the Disneyland Resort's new
Twomper.
hotel. In between Club Disney and ESPN Zone would be Disney Regional Entertainment's most ambitious project. It was the main reason that the subsidiary had been created. It was the Imagineers' most puzzling concoction. It was Disney Quest.
No, stop. Disney Quest is... Man, stop that. You gotta fucking stop with that. Disney Quest was, and always will be Disney's best park that they ever tried to open. That shit was fucking beautiful in its prime. Love Disney Quest. We already watched the Disney Quest video. We started the rabbit hole with that. Alright, we'll move on. Thanks to Resub Joe. The history and downfall of McDonald Land and the Disney's McDonald's Happy Meal.
When it comes to the history of fast food restaurants, there's certainly no shortage of interesting stories. From Taco Bell originating as a hot dog and hamburger stand, KFC's infamous secret recipe, or Jack in the Box's innovation of the two-way drive-thru intercom. But few of them have as fascinating of a history as McDonald's, or more specifically, the world and characters of McDonaldland and the Happy Meal. It's a story that spans over 50 years and goes in quite a few unexpected directions. So sit back, relax, and let's take a deep dive into one of fast food's most iconic and absolutely bonkers advertising campaigns.
What the fuck is this? Damn, Ronald looks so sad. Holy shit. It's like he's listening to Marilyn Manson for the first time. He's going through a phase or something. Christ. Someone help my boy out. We live in a fucking restaurant. Shit.
The story begins in 1940 with the very first McDonald's in San Bernardino, California, which was owned and run by Maurice and Richard McDonald. It began as a fairly modest drive-in restaurant, serving hamburgers, barbecue, hot dogs, and other eateries by way of car hops. However, despite its success, 8 years later, the McDonald's brothers decided to close the restaurant for a refurbishment and make a number of drastic alterations. One of them was the implementation of a new speedy service system, as well as focusing on the restaurant's most popular food item, hamburgers.
15
Just these changes
cents.
alone would allow McDonald's to deliver a customer's order in a staggering 15 to 30 seconds. Another change was getting rid of the slower car hop service in favor of a self-service counter system. Beyond operational changes was rebranding the face of McDonald's with a new official mascot named Speedy.
Yeah,
what
Speedy
made the
looks
McDonald's
great.
franchise really take off was a milkshake mixer salesman by the name of Ray Kroc. You see, in 1954, while on a business trip, Ray Kroc found himself at the original McDonald's location, and he instantly saw the restaurant's potential. So he made a deal with the McDonald's brothers to begin franchising the fast food restaurant all over the country.
Well, I said, why don't you get somebody to do it? They said, well, we don't know anybody who want to do it.
This sounds like a guy who made milkshakes for McDonald's.
Said, you want to
So I said, what are you doing with the milkshakes? I said, I'll come in there and fucking make the milkshakes for you.
Now, to dive into the entire history of how Ray Kroc grew the McDonald's franchise and essentially weaseled the original owners out of the business is more than we can get into here. So for our story, you just need to know that in 1961, Ray Kroc officially bought them out and began focusing on expanding the fast food franchise exponentially. But first was to establish a new mascot that was a bit more enticing than a winking hamburger with a protruding belly that for some reason had human hands and feet. Sure, the restaurant's golden arches were already very recognizable. In the same year of the acquisition, McDonald's debuted the first iteration of the soon-to-be iconic Golden M logo. But Ray Kroc wanted to enter the world of television advertising, and more specifically, reach the most influential demographic of all, children. Enter Bozo the Clown, who was first introduced on television in 1949, and by the 1960s had become the world's most famous clown. And
what a wonderful
Numerous
character.
actors played the charming clown during the height of his popularity.
Yes, of course.
One of these was radio personality Willard Scott, who in 1962...
Can you fucking believe that there was a time in our evolutionary history where people actually enjoyed these things? Like, it's crazy to look back on it. Like, I often think, like, you know, people from back in the day weren't so different from us now. They just didn't have, like, the same luxuries and, like, knowledge. But no, people back then were fucking weird. Like, look at this shit. Hey, thank you for the fat 20 gift subs, Gandalf. Really appreciate it, man. Stop pausing it? You mean literally the fucking first pause? Man, hold my dick.
One of these was radio personality Willard Scott, who in 1962 was approached by McDonald's to see if he was interested in playing a different kind of clown.
Well, hi! Isn't that McDonald's hamburger delicious?
Mom told me never to talk to strangers.
Well, your mother's right as always, but I'm Ronald McDonald. Give me a McDonald's shake.
In 1963, the restaurant's new mascot, Ronald McDonald, made his first appearance on television and would appear in 2 more commercials that same year. These proved to be such a success that after he was given a quick makeover to appear less like he stumbled out of a garbage can, continued to promote the restaurant.
Hey, I like garbage can Ronald.
It didn't take long for Ronald McDonald to become one of the most familiar faces to children all across America, but this was only the beginning of his rise to fame. In the 1970s, McDonald's began moving away from its walk-up counter-style approach to sit-down roofed restaurants. They wanted to focus on creating more of an experience for customers, rather than just having them pick up their food and walking off property. But this went beyond just the dining aspect of the restaurant, as they wanted to create a host of new characters alongside Ronald, and boost their influence on children even further.
Did anyone ever like Ronald McDonald, though? I mean, even I remember as a kid, we all fucking hated him.
The pitter-patter.
And, I mean, the only one that was kind of cool was the Hamburglar, just because his name is cool.
Is music to our ears.
Now, for those unaware, the 1960s and 70s were the boom of Saturday morning cartoons.
Here's the 5 gift subs, Bronzos,
and as cynical
and the
as it
Prime
sounds,
Beats.
the driving force behind this wasn't entertaining children, but advertising to children. You see, companies knew that getting kids hooked on cheaply made television shows was the best way to advertise toys, games, candy, and especially totally not addicting sugary cereal. But what made cereal commercials especially unique was their world building, catchy bubblegum tunes, and their irresistibly charming mascots. In many cases, these commercials were similar to a mini cartoon series, with various skits and shenanigans telling a quick story, which of course revolved around promoting the company's product. And again, totally not addicting sugary cereal.
Sugar Bear, me and Mr. Winter is freezing our summer.
I'll sweeten him up with super sugar. Super Sugar Crisp is coated with super sugar to make it taste so sweet.
I was not expecting that voice actor to come in like that.
Unsurprisingly,
that was smooth.
McDonald's wanted to get in on this too, so they reached out to Needham, Harper, and Steers. A short time later, the ad agency came back to McDonald's with a brilliant concept, called McDonaldland, a magical place filled with all kinds of unique and lovable characters. Alongside Ronald, there was Mayor McCheese, Officer Big Mac, and the Professor as the good guys within this world. The villains consisted of Captain Crook and the Hamburglar.
Hamburglar, yeah!
Eccentric characters like Grimace and the Goblins. McDonald's loved the idea, and before long, production began on the television commercial series for McDonald's.
Why does Ronald McDonald look like fucking the Joker, though?
Live and operate.
They gave him, like, real hair.
We came up with the concept of a gigantic set in which the McDonald's food items, the menu items, were the chief elements
Tier 1 vanilla.
The basic plot of these TV spots were pretty straightforward.
Final Destination,
Ronald McDonald and some random child would get into shenanigans on this magical island. Each adventure was structured to promote a very specific menu item, which had a direct tie-in to the plot. In fact, many parts of the land itself was quite literally made of McDonald's delicacies, so sort of like a Willy Wonka factory of high cholesterol. Now, because each and every one of these 1970s McDonaldland commercials is absolute comedy gold, let's take a deep dive into some of the best installments.
Let's see one.
Get yourself ready for a
Is there a video there behind all the JPEG? Christ.
One bright sunny day in McDonald's land, Ronald, Big Mac, and their friend Tim were on their way to McDonald's when suddenly...
Oh god, not the burger alarm!
Cried Tim.
Holy fuck.
One adventure had Ronald and his friend Tim encounter the Hamburglar
Oh!
who was trying to steal all those delicious McDonald's hamburgers.
I don't remember him looking
so
like
with the help
that.
Of a giant milkshake machine aboard a
Christ.
train, Ronald decides to
Goblin.
whip up an irresistible McDonald's
Scooting out.
chocolate shake. He then tricks the crafty old Hamburglar into giving back all those delicious McDonald's hamburgers. But thankfully he gets his just desserts as he winds up getting arrested by
Oh,
Officer
no.
Big Mac.
Get yourself ready for a trip through McDonald's land.
Another
I never did
adventure features
Naruto,
Ronald McDonald and his friend Billy fishing for Filet-O-Fish sandwiches on Filet-O-Fish Lake, when suddenly the despicable Captain Crook shows up. As you can probably predict, he demands for them to hand over all those tasty Filet-O-Fish sandwiches.
Or what?
Billy?
Does he have a
Ronald
weapon?
instead puts a hole
He
in
just
his
pulls
ship,
out a fucking
causing
9 or
Captain
something?
Crook
Like,
to
what is
sink
he gonna
down
do
the
to you?
waters of Filet-O-Fish Lake.
Don't give
The
him your
two friends are
Filet-O-Fishes.
then allowed to enjoy all those tasty Filet-O-Fish sandwiches. And I'm not even exaggerating how many times they shoehorn the word Filet-O-Fish into this one.
Get yourself ready for a trip through McDonald's land.
Thanks to Prime Rilo.
Yet another
Squid
adventure
and,
features the
resub.
professor working on a machine
Minga
that'll
and
make
gift
the
sub
best
Killer Wolf.
hamburger in the world. But what the silly professor doesn't realize is, duh, McDonald's already has the best hamburger in the world. This one also features a terrifying Ronald McDonald laugh that'll haunt your dreams.
Classic Ronald.
A final example had Mayor McCheese in a panic over a swarm of goblins in the french fry patch. Terrified they'll gobble up all those delicious McDonald's french fries.
What'll we do? Nothing, said Ronald.
But instead
Okay,
of
good
helping,
solution.
Ronald
Thanks,
simply
Ron.
says, well, if you can't beat them, join them. So he really took the easy way out on this one.
Okay.
Don't forget to feed the wastebaskets, because they're hungry too.
What a adventure.
And we'd like to ask a favor of you.
The McDonaldland ad campaign was a huge success, and before long, the popularity of the characters spawned a very
fuck?
profitable line of merchandise. There
Thanks
were
to give some
McDonaldland
butter,
playsets,
Prime Dan,
comic
and the
books,
Tier
coloring
1
books,
Gray,
bed sheets,
the
puzzles,
Tier 1
calendars,
Zebrin, and
souvenir
the
glasses, slippers, posable
Tier 3
figurines,
Rose
and
Petal.
even a board game. When
Thank
it
you,
came
Rose
to the
Petal.
restaurant itself, many were adorned with elaborate murals of the land and its characters. There were also concepts for a couple McDonaldland high chairs that were never produced. And thank God, because these would have been absolutely traumatizing the children.
This is a real design they thought would be
These would have
good?
been
This is like some shit out of a Lovecraft game, like The Shore. It's like an SCP. You sit in this chair and then all of a sudden you can smell the future or something. Ronald McDonald peers into your soul, bestows upon you a curse. All you can taste is salty Filet-O-Fish. Man, it's fucking crazy that these things were like actually considered at some point. That's wild, man. Thanks to give sub Crumple McStinky and resub Good Deal, Poggy Beans, and the Prime Conrad and
absolutely
River.
traumatizing to children. Everything surrounding McDonaldland was so ridiculously lucrative that eventually other fast food restaurants applied this world building to their own marketing strategy.
Yeah.
But one of the most iconic and nostalgic parts of this whole phenomenon was the McDonaldland playground.
But Burger King had the Xbox 360 games like Sneak King, so they win.
Of course it's me, and all of your other friends too. Come on in and look around.
Don't do it, it's a
Welcome
fucking
to
trap.
Mayor McCheese and Officer Big
Holy
Mac,
shit.
There were all kinds of ways to have fun.
Don't
in the
accept a
McDonaldland
hamburger from a
playground.
stranger.
There was the Captain Crook Spiral Slide, a quote, exciting ride with a twist. Another was the Mad Professor Slide, the McDonaldland Teeter Totter, the Apple Pie Tree, and the Filet-O-Fish Spring Ride. Of course, how could I forget the Mayor McCheese Roundabout, the Hamburglar Swing, as well as the Filet-O-Fish
this
and
place
Burger
sucks.
Patch Pond. Another exciting adventure was the Grimace Bounce and Bend, where kids could literally bounce around inside of a cage with metal bars, which McDonald's strongly emphasized was safe for children.
The evil Grimace can bounce and bend all day, and is completely safe for children.
Perhaps the
Yeah,
most
but why?
iconic of all was the Big Mac Climber, where kids could reach new and exciting heights, and again, was totally safe for children.
Come play on the great equipment that makes McDonaldland a fun place to go.
This is the worst fucking playground ever.
The world and characters in McDonaldland continued to bring McDonald's record sales and profits all through the 70s, but behind the scenes, trouble was brewing for the fast food restaurant. You see, it turns out Needham, Harper, and Steers, who remember was behind the campaign, didn't come up with the idea of McDonaldland on their own. As later revealed, they'd first reached out to Sid and Marty Krofft, the creators of HR Pufnstuf.
HR Pufnstuf? Mayor of Living Island?
Thanks to give sub Gray.
Terrific! I never met a mayor before.
Yeah, like I said, Spino, I forgot about that, so I put it on another
Despite
tab.
only consisting of 17 episodes, HR Pufnstuf was a very popular children's television series, which ran continuously from 1969 well into the 70s. The show took place on the fictional land of Living Island, where as the name implies, everything was alive. So when Needham, Harper, and Steers reached out to the creators of HR Pufnstuf, their idea was to use the characters and world of their show as a template for a new fictional land called McDonaldland. The show's creators accepted the offer and began developing the art.
This is a picture of the show's creator? He created the show? Or is he just like an actor in it? Oh, that's just an actor? Okay, I was gonna say. This multi-million-dollar show is spearheaded by a child.
Artistic designs and engineering plans that were then to be pitched to McDonald's. However, at the last minute, they were told the campaign was scrapped, so the creators moved on. Of course, a short time later, the campaign did become a reality, and the Crofts noticed a few too many striking similarities between McDonaldland and their show. From the concept of a land filled with living inanimate objects, a forest with talking trees, and even a number of nearly identical side characters. The most damning evidence, however, were the similarities between Mayor McCheese and HR Pufnstuf, who also happened to be a mayor.
Not that similar, if you ask me.
He also had a nearly identical voice to the character of Dr. Blinky.
Hiya, Mayor McCheese. What's new? Well,
thanks for King Claps and the bits Ryu and Astro.
Happy Cup is new.
Come on, I'll show you what it looks like. It's the most fabulous invention you ever thought.
Although, to be fair, the voice actors on both shows were simply emulating the voice of the legendary Ed Wynn.
Butter! Butter, oh, thank you, Butter. Yes, that's fine.
In 1971, the creators of HR Pufnstuf filed a lawsuit against McDonald's. And while I won't get into the details for the sake of
No,
time,
read the entire legal document. Fuck it. We're already here. Let's ride.
Dragged on, which unbeknownst
Let's
to
get
many was
after it.
happening in the
Fuck
background
yeah.
during the rise of McDonaldland and its characters. Although by this point, they'd pretty much abandoned having children play a role in the shenanigans. In December of 1977, the courts finally reached a verdict. McDonald's was guilty of copyright infringement. As part of the settlement, McDonald's wound up...
Oh, and there's one... I've actually paused this a lot more than I usually do. There's one thing I wanted to look up about this. Thanks to Tier 1 Bomb-Proof Panda and the Tier 1 Harley's Joker and the gift sub Bomb-Proof Panda. Hold on. This is going way back, but it's bothered me. So did Ray Kroc, the milkshake guy, buy McDonald's like the year he came on? Because I kind of brushed over that. He scammed them, basically. Yeah, but... I probably need to watch, like, the actual documentary about it. Because I didn't know that. Thanks to Tier 1 Wet Grilled Cheese and the 2 gift subs Gum Gum. And the resub Bob, 2 Wavy, and Paolo. I did not hear about that, Hunter, but I'm not surprised. Here, so I've got the Wikipedia up, so we can learn together. So he sold the milkshake mixers in 1954 and opened his own franchise in 1955. But this isn't telling me how he took it over. Just watch The Founder on Netflix. Yeah, it's because someone said there was a documentary. I just didn't know. I actually didn't know this whole little side plot line here, the lore. Okay. That didn't really help me understand, but whatever.
Having to pay the Crofts more than $1 million in damages.
Here's the prime: Icy, Danny, Tangy, and Potato.
Today. As far as the changes to McDonald Land itself, it gets a little complicated. The court's findings basically concluded that McDonald's infringed on the overall look and feel of the show, not any specific character or element. Because of this, McDonald's was given a pretty generous amount of time to adjust the world and characters of McDonald Land accordingly, so we'll come back to this in a bit. In the meantime, the lawsuit wasn't the only problem McDonald's was facing. You see, franchise owners were finding that despite a previously successful ad campaign, kids didn't really want to eat at McDonald's anymore.
Yeah, because it's not cool.
Star Wars.
Oh!
Kind of.
What?
Burger Chef introduces Star Wars Fun Meals for your kids. A hamburger
Star Wars just made them lose their appetite?
Imagine how much fun your kids will have.
As the 1980s drew near, other fast food restaurants began offering incentives based on the worldwide phenomenon that was Star Wars, such as Burger Chef's Star Wars-inspired Fun Meal. Another example were the collectible Star Wars glasses from Burger King, so all of a sudden McDonald's had steep competition.
The only thing Burger King ever did right, I guess.
Although this wasn't necessarily a new concept, as in the mid-70s, Burger Chef began offering small toys with what they called the Fun Burger. The integration of Star Wars simply created a much wider appeal, and McDonald's was slow to catch on. Unless you count the free shaving razors with the purchase of a delicious McDonald's breakfast sandwich. However, it turns out the solution was already in motion in 1977, but the company just didn't know it yet. As the story goes, restaurant owner Yolanda Fernandez, who along with her husband established the first McDonald's in Guatemala, had come up with what she called the Ronald menu. This was designed specifically for children, as well in the US McDonald's items like the Big Mac were household names, in Guatemala they were not. This resulted in parents not knowing what to order, or what sizes were best for their children, with kids unable to finish Big Macs who thought they were just a regular hamburger. So within the Ronald menu was a regular-sized hamburger, small fry, small Coke, and a small sundae, with an inexpensive toy she'd purchased herself at a local market.
Aww.
Word of this eventually found its way to Bob Bernstein, the founder of one of McDonald's advertising firms.
That's so
in
cute!
In a case of true serendipity, a few years earlier he had the idea of a McDonald's kids food carrier, featuring puzzles, jokes, and trivia like a cereal box. So he simply combined Yolanda's menu concept and his McDonald's cereal box idea and created the Happy Meal. At first it was given a test run in a handful of cities, where Happy Meals were made available at select McDonald's locations. The campaign proved to be a major hit with children, and thus the Happy Meal went national in 1979.
I do believe this mailbox
is a Burger King was the place that had the golden Pokemon things, wasn't it? Yeah, you're right. That shit was cool.
Now that's what I call special delivery.
With the unveiling of the Happy Meal, McDonald Land saw the addition of the Happy Meal guys, which were used to advertise, as the name implies, the Happy Meal. The same year saw the arrival of Birdie the Early Bird, who, as you can probably guess, advertised the new McDonald's Early Bird breakfast menu. But while the Happy Meal gave
those hash browns were banging.
It was also
Birdie the Early Wordy, or whatever the fuck her name was, she was onto something.
Of the McDonald's
those hash browns were nutty.
Seriously affecting the world of McDonald Land. First was redesigning the world itself, drastically scaling back its, for lack of a better word, magic and wonder. In fact, more often than not, they simply chose to feature the characters in the real world instead. There was also the matter of the two most puff and stuff-like characters, Mayor McCheese and Officer Big Mac. The first to go was Officer Big Mac, leaving the world of McDonald Land as a lawless wasteland. However, in the early 1980s, the courts ruled that despite these changes, McDonald's was still infringing on the copyrights of the Crofts. So the Professor and Captain Crook, renamed the Captain, were completely redesigned as a way to distance themselves even further from the lawsuit. But evidently these attempts by McDonald's to de-puff and stuff McDonald Land still failed to appease the courts. So the company relented, and in 1985, retired one of the most iconic characters of McDonald's, Mayor McCheese.
No, God,
hey,
why?
At least we got the addition of the
They killed Mayor McCheese!
Kind of terrifying McNugget buddies.
A public flogging to send him out.
Here's some happy news about McDonald's Happy Meal.
No, instead of a hamburger, you can get
chicken McNugget.
The rest of the 1980s would see a few additional changes to McDonald Land. One of them was redesigning the Hamburglar, as well as an overhaul to the land itself to appear much more cartoony. But the Happy Meal did more than shake up the world of McDonald Land, as it also gave birth to one of the most iconic and nostalgic restaurant integrations of all time, McDonald's and Disney. You see, when McDonald's first debuted the Happy Meal, much like its competitors, they also decided to get into the movie tie-in business. Their first integration
looks like
was
Ludwig.
definitely an odd one, with Star Trek
Who the fuck was that in Star Wars? It looks like they just put Ludwig on a glass. Maybe it was just the quality, but I thought for sure it was a Ludwig Easter egg.
Hamburger, fries, soft drink, a McDonald's and cookie sampler, and a Star Trek prize.
The next few years saw a number of other movie tie-ins, but in 1987, McDonald's became the sponsor of the Disney Favorites Happy Meal, a promotion of Disney's home video re-releases of various animated feature films. The next year was Oliver & Company, McDonald's first animated feature film tie-in of a new release from Disney. This was followed by the first Disney theme park integration with Mickey's Birthday Land, and even a special tie-in with the upcoming Splash Mountain in 1989. But then, in a less covered aspect of their partnership, relations soured between the two companies after the drastic underperformance of Dick Tracy. It was a film Disney was truly banking on becoming a massive worldwide box office success, which is why they spared absolutely no expense when it came to the film's marketing and merchandising. They were so confident that they encouraged McDonald's to really go all in with a massively expensive Dick Tracy ad campaign.
There's more than one way to win cash in McDonald's Dick Tracy Crime Stopper game.
Give it up, prune face.
With Disney's assurance, McDonald's created a truly epic promotional lineup, from expensive commercials, contests, and elaborate games. However, while the film was
did that say
generally
$40 million?
Elaborate game.
$40 million? What the fuck is this? What? Play McDonald's 40 million. That is a dollar sign, right? Like this is what they're going for? Holy shit. Who became an overnight super millionaire from McDonald's? Man just bit into a Filet-O-Fish and found a $40 million check? Like, Jesus Christ.
However, while the film was generally well received and had a decent run at the box office, Dick Tracy failed to live up to its high expectations.
A total of, so it's not one winner gets it all. It's just like they spent $40 million on the game. Okay.
Was also a major flop.
Much better.
It was a huge financial loss for
I didn't
the
get that impression.
So McDonald's began to distance themselves from Disney's ad campaigns, including bowing out of promoting their next animated feature, Beauty and the Beast. However, their rival fast food restaurant Burger King was more than happy to fill in.
Burger King invites you
Thanks
to
the Prime. Rachie and the Gift Sub Primal.
Beauty and the Beast, now in theaters. There's Belle and the Beast, Cogsworth, and Chip. You can collect all four at Burger King. A new one each week when you buy a kids meal.
While technically The Little Mermaid kicked off the Disney Renaissance era, Beauty and the Beast solidified it, and the Burger King promotion was a huge success. As an attempt to get back in their good graces, McDonald's ran a modest ad campaign for Disney's next animated film, Aladdin. But Disney also allowed Burger King to run alongside.
Oh, hey, what the fuck is that?
Against McDonald's by running their own campaign, which outsold McDonald's by a pretty significant margin. This is more than likely why Burger King was chosen to promote their next animated film, The Lion King. The Burger King Lion King promotion outperformed all that came before it, tripling the sales of their Kids Club meals and selling a whopping 30 million toys. McDonald's, on the other hand, only ran a small campaign in the UK, completely missing out on the Lion King sales bonanza in the US. Supposedly, McDonald's franchisees were none too pleased with this, so the company promised they would do everything in their power to once again become Disney's go-to fast food chain. 2 years later, they did just that, as McDonald's and Disney announced a 10-year promotional alliance in April of 1996.
McDonald's is celebrating a new
Holy shit, man, that's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it the first time. Yeah, there it is. That is crazy.
When the fun's unleashed at McDonald's, your Dalmatian location.
Part of this new partnership resulted in the massively successful 101 Dalmatians live-action remake tie-in, and led to countless kids like myself obsessing over trying to collect all 101 Dalmatian toys. Initially, the McDonald's-Disney relationship was a match made in heaven, and their Disney animated film Happy Meal integrations are a huge part of 90s nostalgia for many. For me in particular, it was the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection, especially the way the toy boxes were designed like VHS boxes. Yes, I'm that much of a nerd. But the partnership went beyond Disney's animated feature film canon, and also became integral in promoting theme park events, such as Epcot's Millennium Celebration. McDonald's also became a major part of Disney's Animal Kingdom campaign, which has always been of a particular interest of mine given its connection to the abandoned Beastly Kingdom. But even during the avalanche of profits from the Disney-McDonald's relationship, between film releases, the world of McDonaldland was still going strong. In terms of the Happy Meals themselves, McDonaldland characters frequently appeared as toys or other forms of collectibles. There was also the McDonaldland Fun Times, the McTreasure Island animated film, and even a surprisingly well-reviewed video game. Another spin-off was the Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, a straight-to-video series that was so popular that the restaurant locations often ran out of VHS copies. But it's really in the early 2000s that the McDonaldland franchise and Disney Happy Meal bonanza began to completely unravel.
Our big local story tonight, the federal government is now looking into that chicken head found in a McDonald's meal. Investigators with the Department of Agriculture are looking into the discovery as well.
That is nasty.
That was pretty gross.
I don't think it's that bad.
This sunk the entire relationship between Disney and McDonald's.
Awareness of the nutrition, or lack thereof, in fast food offerings, especially when it came to McDonald's.
McTrouble in Fatland?
McDonaldland, including Ronald, came to McDonald's.
What? Holy shit. What an aggressive article. God damn.
All of a sudden, the characters of McDonaldland, including Ronald, were seen as a devious marketing strategy, encouraging childhood obesity and promoting high-fat, heart-unhealthy food. So the McDonaldland characters were scaled back from advertising, all but disappearing in the early 2000s. Then came the wildly popular documentary Super Size Me.
Yeah, this documentary banged.
Food offerings even further. Now I will say, it is a great commentary on the country's over-reliance on fast food. But to be fair, if you completely gorge yourself the way he does every meal, every day for 1 month with virtually no exercise, this could be applied to literally any fast food restaurant. Anyway, the documentary's impact was so severe that McDonald's dropped the entire supersize option altogether, and all but made the retirement of the McDonaldland characters that much more permanent. Due in part to all the controversy, citing new nutritional guidelines, Disney chose not to renew the results.
Oh yeah, no.
2006.
I know the whole Supersize Me controversy, but it was still a really entertaining documentary.
In their theme parks.
I saw it in school and I really enjoyed it.
Hi, how are you? There he is. I have a Ronald brand for you.
For the next decade or so, McDonald's worked tirelessly to improve their image. However, outside of brief appearances by Ronald, the rest of the characters of McDonaldland were nowhere to be found. The only real way to see any of the original McDonaldland characters were through relics of the original playground and restaurant interiors. It may have taken over a decade of improvements, but it seemed to have finally paid off, as a new Happy Meal partnership between McDonald's and Disney was announced in 2018. While Disney has once again taken a place within the McDonald's advertising world, the characters of McDonaldland, including Ronald, are still completely absent, and more than likely will never return. So raise a delicious chocolate milkshake to the fallen heroes of the most successful advertising campaign in fast food history. But who knows, maybe we'll see them someday.
That was wild. I love these videos, man. This shit is so good. What else does Yesterworld got? Let's see the biggest one. The tragic fate of Stitch's Great Escape. Disney's most divisive attraction. I don't really know it very well. We already watched the thing on Jaws. Downfall of Mickey's Toontown and Magic Kingdom's Toontown Fair. Thanks for so awesome, Phil. The Snow White one. Where's the Snow White one? Is that something you've watched before, or is it somewhere on the screen that I'm missing? Second row on the left. Oh, the evolution of Snow White's terrifying adventures. Let's just do Stitch. Fuck it. I don't know the ride, but doesn't matter. I don't think I ever rode the Stitch ride. Thanks to Resub Royal
so I've given
and
this
Moose.
a lot of thought, and I think your next video should be on a really classic Disney attraction, like the Skyway, Rocket to the Moon, or the original version of Star Tours.
Well, actually, I was thinking about covering one of my favorite attractions, Stitch's Great Escape. I loved Lilo and Stitch growing up and always thought that ride was a blast, Not to mention the history and drama surrounding that ride is fascinating. I'm probably in the minority, but man, I've always really enjoyed that attraction and the character of Stitch, so I would love to explore it.
Quinn, you can't say Stitch's name 3 times in one sentence or else our Yester world, Stitch is here.
Subtitles? No. This ride took over the Alien ride. Yeah, we learned about that in Defunct Land. What was it? Alien Extra Terror Estrial. This replaced it. No, we saw what came before Stitch. Is there sound?
Hey, that's not Simba.
Oh.
When you think of Disney animation from the early 2000s,
DMCA
chances are
purposes,
one of the first
yeah.
movies to come to mind is
Thanks for your sub, Bobby.
2002's Lilo and Stitch, a film that managed to connect with audiences of all ages due in part to its rather mature themes for an animated movie at the time, showing a young girl affected by the death of her parents, a struggling sister doing her best to meet the standards of a well-meaning social worker, and of course our title character Stitch, aka Experiment 626. A creature coming into a situation that he doesn't understand while trying to make
Stitch
some
ride is
sense of what it
permanently
means to be part
closed
of a
now.
family.
Damn,
and
rest
for
in
a movie
peace.
primarily about an alien, Lilo and Stitch was Disney's most personal and human story yet. The film was also a box office success, more than tripling its budget and becoming
Minority Report. Holy shit.
in years. And with that combination,
That
in
movie
mind,
was
it seemed
pretty
like
good.
only a matter of time before the franchise would make its way into the theme
The
park.
PlayStation 2
but what
game
no
was
one
even
expected
better.
was for it to happen so fast. In November of 2002, only a few short months following the release of the film, rumors began to surface that Stitch would soon be taking over the Magic Kingdom's extraterrestrial alien encounter, an attraction that had proved to be a little too intense for young children, and while the ride did have many hardcore fans, Disney had been looking for an opportunity to replace Alien Encounter with something a little more family-friendly, and on October 10th of 2003, Disney officially announced that Alien Encounter would be replaced by the forthcoming Stitch's Great Escape, and only 2 days later, Alien Encounter was permanently closed.
Damn.
Reactions to the announcement were
Blasted.
mixed to say the least, as in
Oh,
addition
shit.
to upset fans of the original Alien Encounter, many fans of the park did not believe Lilo and Stitch to be a franchise with the longevity of other
Jesus,
Disney classics.
I haven't seen Stitch in
Regardless,
so
Disney moved
long,
forward
he
with
just
the
gets
concept,
beat the
blocking
fuck
off
up.
access to the show building while the attraction was under construction. During this time, Imagineers were faced with the challenge of creating an attraction under very tight development constraints. Disney wanted the attraction to be up and running in less than 1 year, and had already publicly slated Stitch's Great Escape to open in summer of 2004 before construction had even began. Not only that, due to a very limited budget, Imagineers were forced to repurpose as many assets from the original Alien Encounter as possible. Faced with these challenges, the attraction ended up missing the summer opening date entirely, and work on the attraction continued well into fall, leaving parkgoers curious as to when they'd finally be able to experience what Imagineers have been up to for themselves. Ultimately, on October 12th of 2004, an email was sent out to Walt Disney World pass holders, inviting them to special exclusive previews of Stitch's Great Escape during the first week of November, before the attraction would open
That's
to the
pretty
public
cool.
on November
That's pretty
16th,
nice.
during which Disney announced that they would be hosting a very
Thanks
special
to
event to
Resub RJ.
celebrate the ride's grand opening. And while many did not know what to expect, the grand opening ceremony was certainly one of Disney's most interesting creative decisions. Guests arriving to the Magic Kingdom on opening morning were greeted by a large inflatable Stitch, and as they made their way up Main Street would pass by signs warning them of a certain blue menace that was wreaking havoc in the park. They could also spot groups of law enforcement.
They should have just
pushing
let
by
out
and
like an
low for
actual
the guy.
feral animal.
Upon approaching the castle on opening morning, guests would have a hard time not instantly noticing that something was not quite right, as Stitch had evidently covered the entire castle in toilet paper.
Thank you for circling that, I would have missed it.
Spray painting Stitch
Now I
is
see
pinned
it.
to the left of the
Oh, they
castle.
vandalized the castle! What the fuck is
castle
this?
would only remain that way for a single day, but despite its very short lifespan, is something that Disney fans like to talk about almost as much as the attraction the castle was decorated for. During the morning's opening ceremony, Cobra
This
Bubbles,
is really
making his
cool
only
what they did
appearance
for
as
this
a
ride.
walk-around character to date, warns the crowd that Stitch is on the loose and that any sighting should be immediately reported to the United Galactic Federation. After this, the standard opening celebration began, although park-goers with a keen eye could spot Stitch bouncing around from turret to turret high up on the castle.
That's cool!
Before the celebration wrapped up, Stitch would crash the ceremony, bringing with him a massive group of Elvis impersonators before being captured by authorities and escorted off the stage, although he apparently was not held for long, as Stitch could be spotted back on the castle at various times throughout the rest of the day, in addition to giving interviews for local news in an alternate costume directly after the ceremony. With the opening celebration out of the way, guests were now free to make their way over to Tomorrowland and experience Stitch's Great Escape for the first time.
The costume's a little weak, though. Like, surely they could have done better for the costume. It's literally just like a blue fursuit with a Stitch head. Like, it's pretty lazy. Definitely could have done more with that, I think.
Stitch has taken over. So strap yourselves in for Disney's most experience. Check out Stitch's Great Escape, new at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that would have been wild, Chainsaw.
Oh, goodness. That's not yours, is it?
Upon entering the show building, riders would be given a very short security briefing informing them that they were now guards for the Galactic Federation and that their job was to guard any prisoners until they had reformed. After this very brief pre-show, guests would move on to the next area of the ride, where it quickly became very apparent just how much of Alien Encounter had been repurposed for Stitch's Great Escape. The Alien Encounter pre-show featured one robot animatronic at a center desk with 2 teleportation tubes to his left and right, as well as 2 animatronics of the character Skippy inside the teleportation tubes. The Stitch's Great Escape pre-show also featured one robot animatronic at a center desk with 2 teleportation tubes to his left and right, as well as 2 Skippy animatronics inside the teleportation tubes. However, the pre-show's narrative was of course entirely different, with the center animatronic quickly introducing himself as Sergeant C4703 BK2704-90210. He explains to the audience that there are 2 types of prisoners that we'd be dealing with on that day: low threat level 1 prisoners and moderately threatening level 2 prisoners.
What about those? They should have made this go extreme. Level 3, rapists. Intergalactic rapists have been let loose in the facility. Your job to catch them and put them to justice.
Although this one was coming in for a much more heinous crime.
We had another situation in the Galactic Federation bakery.
Not the donut guy again.
Yep. Kind of sucking the goop out of all the jelly wormhole donuts.
This is followed up by an admittedly very cool special effect, as this so-called donut guy is teleported off of the TV screen and into the physical teleportation tube in front of the gate.
Oh yeah, and we saw this in the extraterrestrial.
The other deformed Skippy animatronic from Alien Encounter, although this time is covered in green jelly. Things then go horribly wrong as the audience is warned by Gantu that the prison has an incoming level 3 prisoner who is described as being highly dangerous. Guests are then directed into the high security teleportation center, which was the same theater in the round used in Alien Encounter, before seating themselves as a countdown begins and being locked in place by the descending shoulder bars. After this, the main show began as the high security prisoner, Experiment 626, was teleported in, revealing to
oh no, what the fuck is that? Holy shit!
Stitch's 39-inch tall animatronic was one of the most complex in the world at the time, and he was accompanied by 2 plasma cannons that would track Stitch as he moved, with each cannon weighing over 1,600 pounds. The story of the main show was very simple, as after teleporting in, Stitch immediately begins spinning on the audience to confuse the plasma cannons, which, just like in the original film, have the fatal flaw of tracking any of Stitch's DNA, including his spit.
Yeah, it was super wholesome, giga-based.
Fire wildly, killing the power and plunging the theater into total darkness, allowing Stitch to escape.
She seemed like a really great person.
Glad she enjoyed the raid and had a good night. Scurry around the theater through the speakers in their headrests, and feel Stitch jumping on their shoulders, an effect that was achieved by the seat shoulder bars shaking rapidly, and would also hear Stitch steal and eat a chili dog before letting out a large belch, which would cause hidden scent spritzers to blast a very unpleasant smell into guests' faces.
Hey! Give me back my chili dog! My chili dog! Mine! Give me back my chili dog!
Oh, mine!
Little blue
Oh, pee, you, Stitch, ew, yucky stink, ugh, no wonder he's a level 3 war criminal.
Power is then restored, and Stitch would continue to taunt the cannons, causing them to again fire haphazardly in every direction before they are shut down for good. Shortly after this, Stitch manages to hijack the teleportation system, with his animatronic reappearing for a short time before teleporting out of the theater and being shown to land back on Earth, more specifically the Magic Kingdom, being shown riding on the Astro Orbiter. This original ending had 2 separate variants and would show Stitch on the Astro Orbiter during the day if you went on the attraction during daylight, or show him on the same ride at night if you went during the evening. The show would then come to a close, and as guests made their way out of the theater, would pass by various wanted posters for different aliens before exiting into either Mickey Star Traders or Merchant of Venus. The ride
what was
did
that
not
one
go over
wanted
very
for?
well. The ride aliens before exiting
Gets inside humans and makes them have smelly feet. It's like a fucking fetish or something. What do you mean? What?
into either Mickey Star Traders or Merchant of Venus. The ride did not go over very well with the vast majority of parkgoers, with some publications going as far as to call the ride the worst attraction Disney had ever created.
Oh, man.
Common complaints included the obnoxious chili cheese burp that made many guests nauseous, the very obvious reuse of many of the main set pieces from Alien Encounter, the shoulder bars and seats proving to be very uncomfortable, and overall just the lack of the Disney standard care not being put into the project. Some guests felt the plot of the ride was very weak as well, and many aspects of the show just did not line up with the plot of the movie.
Not sure if we've done that yet,
could of course be attributed to creative liberties taken while creating a standalone experience like Stitch's Great Escape. Overall, very few people had anything positive to say about the ride when it was first released, and most felt it was vastly inferior to what had preceded it. The Orlando Sentinel had an absolutely brutal take on the ride, saying if Stitch were truly alive, he would get his revenge for this. He would snarl, stick his tongue up his nose, and then wrap his jaw firmly around Michael Eisner's head. His sad tale is a microcosm of what is going on at Disney, where prices are up and creativity is down. Ouch. These complaints were never addressed and remained a very common issue for guest relations during the ride's entire run. Disney did make a few minor changes to Stitch's Great Escape in March of 2005, adding artificial dialogue of various guests into the periods of darkness just to help the audience better follow what was happening, and change the end of the ride entirely. In this ending, instead of being shown riding the Astro Orbiter, Stitch lands on Cinderella's castle, leading to a pretty interesting interaction.
Hello? Cinderella, your prince is here.
Thanks to the bits, Quinn.
The ride then remained unchanged for the rest of the decade, and as the parks rolled into the 2010s, parkgoers began to wonder why Stitch's Great Escape remained open. The attraction had been unpopular from the very beginning, and as the years passed, the attraction became one of the least populated in the park. Guests were also starting to notice that the ride was not being maintained, as many of the speakers had stopped working throughout the years, and by 2010 the ride had begun to break down mid-show frequently.
Look at all that, like, what is that, dried donut glaze?
Disney announced that Stitch's Great Escape would enter seasonal operation, only opening during select dates during the park's busiest times. The attraction remained in seasonal operation through January 6th of 2018, when without warning, Stitch's Great Escape played what would become its final ever showing. Disney officials had stated that the ride would remain on a seasonal operation schedule throughout 2018, but in October of the same year, pictures surfaced online showing that the entire attraction, including the pre-show area, had been completely dismantled, seemingly signaling the end of an attraction that few would miss.
Why did they flay their flesh?
Stitch's Alien Encounter character meeting.
What the fuck was the point of that?
What was once Stitch's Great
Just
Escape.
take the whole thing down. Why are they ripping its skin off?
2017, when the ride was still operating on a seasonal schedule, but has now outlived the main attraction. What will permanently take the place of Stitch's Great Escape is unknown, and with no official word from Disney, the future of the show building remains unclear. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel before you leave.
Alright, Yesterworld Entertainment also bangs. I just love this shit, going through like the old amusement park things. It's so cool. It's so good. Thanks to the Prime Moon and the gift sub Carson Tim. No, we'll get out of the rabbit hole for now. We have a couple others queued up here. I'll just tell you right away, I think this looks like shit, but you asked for it like 3 times, so I'll let it ride for a minute at least. Thanks to the resub, Crosis. Oh god. It's chaos. What is this OST? Yeah, it sounds good. I like the OST. I respect the effort that went into this. It's well made. There's the tier 1 Little Mermaid and there's some Inga. Yeah, it looks good. Guarantee that wasn't easy to make. But yeah, not exactly what I'm looking for tonight. A lot better than the thumbnail led me to believe. I thought it was just going to be a meme thing. But yeah, it looks good. Thanks to resub Arctic Roadkill. Alright. So this is just the whole SpongeBob 4D ride.
Are you ready, kid?
I'm ready, let's fucking strap in. I'm coming.
I can hear you.
Ah!
Good.
Wait, I don't have my 3D glasses! Fuck! Whoa! Whoa!
SpongeBob, me boy.
Holy shit!
A crash course in Krabby Patty making.
Welcome, trainee. The foundation of the Krabby Patty is as follows: bun, lettuce, tomato, onion, sauce, and secret recipe patty.
I wish they just revealed the recipe here.
But like anything in life, it's not complete without a pickle. Hey, the last one.
Yeah, the audio's not quite 4D.
Fulfill your destiny.
Oh god, whoa!
Hey, what's taking so long?
Oh, believe me, it's worth it.
Come back!
Oh god, watch out!
Fulfill your destiny!
Holy shit, there's so many dimensions!
Weird. I didn't even know Patrick owned a pogo stick.
Hey, is that my patty?
Not yet it isn't. For you see, this patty is incomplete. Come on, new guy. We gotta get that pickle for the customer!
Quick, let's fucking go!
Get on! In the history of the Krusty Krab, we have never served an incomplete patty, and we're not gonna!
So what is the fourth dimension? Is it smell?
Now let's see. If I'm
I
going to
gotta
catch
smell
Patrick,
SpongeBob's
I must
musk.
first think like Patrick.
Jesus Christ! VR.
Look, jellyfish, trying to say hi. Aren't they pretty?
So where was this ride?
You can pet them. Look, it's Patrick. Hey, Patrick, I need that pickle to complete the patty. Hey, that looks like the back of the rock bottom.
This was
sign.
Mall of America? Okay.
Neptune on a needle.
Oh shit! Oh god! Holy fuck!
You okay?
There's a lot of places.
Well,
I've never seen it.
Bike made it.
At least I don't think I've seen it.
Hey, let's go.
Oh, I know Alan Tutorial. I like that channel a
Is that
lot.
my patty?
Not yet.
And yeah, I do,
Don't pop the bubble
rinsing.
By the way, you're doing great for your first day.
We definitely watched that last time, Kron.
Hey, look, there's Patrick. He's going into the chum bucket. Look up.
Hi, SpongeBob.
Patrick.
What are you doing here?
Why did you steal my pickle?
Pickle? It wasn't me. It's me!
Oh my fucking god!
Double? What's going on here?
It's a skinwalker!
Isn't it obvious?
Plankton!
That's right, Plankton! My robotic Patrick has lured you and that delicious patty right into my fiendish hands. Now hand it
This is a
over.
whole goddamn SpongeBob episode.
Maybe I can't, but the Patbot 3000 can. Behold! A hydraulic metal crusher to crush your bones.
Thanks for Prime Sugary Nips.
Tipped ripping saw to cut your flesh. And a paddle ball! Made from rubber.
Oh, whoa, whoa!
And a staple. Anyways, get him! No! Yes! You can run, but you can't hide, squarehead.
God damn. It's like Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated.
Here comes the paddle ball!
Whoa! Run! Oh god! Oh!
Give me that patty! Give me that patty! Huh?
Oh, sorry. Can I use this outlet?
Well, at least I still have the pickle.
Thanks to the prime drum. What is it, Warlord? I don't know what it is.
That's right.
Hey, is that my patty?
Yes, sir.
I asked for no pickles.
No pickles, ha ha ha.
No, you don't understand.
Oh, and then we smell him?
I'm allergic to pickles.
Oh.
Well, that was
peculiar. Oh, smells gross. That just straight fucking murdered that guy. What a ride. What a ride. Okay. Thanks to the prime Darth Macy. Yeah, it must have been wild, num num. Yeah, we can check if there's any new court cam, though I doubt there is.
The past year.
I'd be surprised if there was any new one. I mean, more than like one or two. Here's one. Man, they really just don't put a whole lot of court cam up. Which is a shame. I think it's their most interesting show. Literally just one. Thanks to the resub, Jerbsba. Mountain Dew pudding. Haven't we seen that? It sounds really familiar. That didn't work. It's like an actual thing. Mountain Dew cheesecake. This one? Spartan cooking? I have seen that actually, nauseous.
Hello everyone, Grace here from the Sparta Truth Tellers, and today we are going to be doing our first recipe, our first actual cooking show in Spartan Cooking. It is the recipe on page 133 of the book. It's called Mountain Dew Pudding.
Let's get it. I'm ready. Thanks to the prime straw hat.
It's
Resub
a very
Jackson.
simple pudding, lots of sugar and lots
There
of
is
eggs,
Ace.
which means Tiny can't eat it. And first thing is first, when you're going to bake anything, you want to preheat your oven so that it bakes evenly, and the heat is
Thanks to prime
in the
Vega.
oven already. I'm very intelligent. I've preheated this to 400 degrees. In this oven, you just turn it to the degree you want, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius, for all you non-Americans like us. And then you leave it anyway.
So is this bad cooking or just a weird recipe?
Just crack them down the middle.
She seems to know what she's doing.
And move the yolk back and forth between the two eggshells.
Good technique.
Separate the egg whites without breaking the yolk. If you're really, really good, which I'm not always,
Makes it
you
tier
can
1
get the
slim.
little extra membrane off
Sounds good,
the
creepy
very
name.
outside of the yolk, but I don't.
So why did you recommend this? It doesn't even seem like bad cooking.
So this will work just fine. So we want this about as fine as breadcrumbs because it's making up the body of it, so it's replacing like flour or cornmeal in the recipe.
Thanks to 7 Duck.
So fine is good if you want it chunkier.
It doesn't seem like bad cooking, just an interesting recipe. Thanks to the resub Albanian. Oh, you talking? Oh, you're right, Kron. Oh, that's right. I don't know though. Thanks to resub Toxic Industry. And yes, I've seen Bondi Rescue. There was another court cam you missed? I mean, that's still only 2 episodes in a week. I'd rather just let it go a month and then we get, what, 8 episodes? No, we won't do Darman tonight. We can do Forged in Fire, though. I've been craving a little Forged in Fire. If they have anything new. Top 5 deadly video game weapons. You watched the video on nunchucks where it literally said nunchucks were so bad that there's really no proof that it was ever even used in war because it was bad. It was literally made for movies. So I don't understand where this is coming from. We already did this once. What was the video? I'll try and find it again. It was one of like the big like martial arts channels or weapon channels. Let me see. Yeah, exactly. Here's just like a quick article. The article is, were nunchucks actually used in combat or just primarily Hollywood? And the article goes on. Going back to the earliest known references to this particular staple of martial arts, it turns out no one's sure who invented it, not because its origins are thousands of years back, but simply because up until Bruce Lee, it wasn't really a popular weapon of choice, and history isn't well documented, and as a result, its relative obscurity. Yeah, it's a really like useless weapon. Pretty much every other weapon ever made outclasses it. I don't remember what YouTuber we watched though, but yeah, there's a lot of articles about nunchucks being dog shit and not like a real weapon. It was very cool when Bruce Lee used them though. That's the whole point of it. They had to really scrounge for something using that weapon. I've never heard of Shadow Fight 2. Oh, it's a mobile game. Oh. It's an old mobile game. Okay. Oh my fucking god! 114 million views on the trailer for this. Holy shit. Damn, alright, so Shadow Fight is huge. Damn, there's even fucking full Shadow Fight YouTubers. Is there a Shadow Fight 3? There is a Shadow Fight 3, so why is Shadow Fight 2 still the most popular? This looks good. Because 3 wasn't good, yeah, it looked like shit. The most powerful super bleeding composite sword. Wow. Okay, I don't even know why I'm watching that, but yeah, alright, never heard of it.
Pronged spear.
Apparently very popular. I sabotaged the other dude's shaft. He just started like dropping acid on it so it would break or some shit. I have actually seen that, Vato. That was a bullshit ruling. I mean, to be fair, the fucking weapon broke. Like, I mean, you can't really argue that. It's snapped in half on a single swing. His blade was better, but I mean, the shit broke. Like, if I was going into battle, I'd at least want the weapon that doesn't break on a single swipe, as opposed to the one that just happens to be sharper. You know what I mean? I mean, it is also a dog shit weapon design to have like a slashing spear. That's stupid. Let's check this one out. Good shit. Alright, let's see the esports farming simulator. I think it's going to be kind of boring, but before I forget, I have it up on the other monitor, but I'll just type it in here. Alright, let's see what we got. 4 hours, what the fuck? Okay, how about this? Exit tier 1.
You hear that? That's the sound of a good, honest day's work. That's the sound of dusty boots and a cold beer at the end of a long day.
That's the sound of panties getting
Ain't
wet.
no city folk round here. Just men, big old trucks, and 400 acres of blood, sweat, and all-American tears. Yep, this is Competitive Farming Simulator.
Let's go! Exit tier 1 TJ Game
Farming
Box and
Simulator
resub
is a game
Spudjack and
developed
Darkblade.
by Giant Software. Starting in 2008, Farming Simulator bottled up all the excitement of a day's work in the wheat
Buseyisms?
field and brought it to the living rooms
Isn't
of
the old
people
MTV
around
show we
the
watched?
world. From managing funds to buying new equipment to tilling the fields, Farm Simulator aims to be a hyper-realistic representation.
Is this just an
of the
ad for Farm
agriculture
Simulator?
industry. Originally, the game was primarily single-player, but Farming Sim really came into its own due to a booming multiplayer community, filled with mods and game types that completely changed how Farm Sim could be played. Some of these are purely quality of life and based around the original game, like adding new farm vehicles or being able to hire workers to take care of your animals for you.
God
but
damn!
Some completely changed the objective of the game, turning it into a logging simulator or even a zombie survival mode. It was from these mods that the team at Giant Studios decided to take it to the next step, creating a competitive mode where teams could face off against each other to prove who really is the best farmer.
Whoa, that
Now,
must be a
for many
cutthroat
of our North
competition.
American viewers, hearing about Competitive Farming Simulator probably comes as a bit of a surprise.
Thanks to Tier 1
Most
Zack
niche
Tack
competitive
and the
titles
resubheaded.
have tons of exposure through the internet. But since Farming Simulator is primarily based around Switzerland and Germany, there isn't much coverage in English, meaning that North American audiences probably haven't heard too much about it. But the competitive scene in Europe is multinational and goes from France to Germany to the Czech Republic, and interest in Farming Simulator is growing elsewhere too. The journey to developing
yeah,
a
got a lot of
competitive
corn.
mode
Let's get
started
it.
in 2017, when Giants ran a small farming sim tournament at Agritechnica 2017. Surprisingly, Giants was met by positive reactions from both competitors and spectators alike, and they began experimenting with various game types until they finally decided on the one that would come to define the farming sim experience. The game is ultimately decided by who has the most wheat at the end of the 15-minute round. Competitive farming sim games begin with the pick and ban phase,
so it's a wheat
which is
race
all about
then,
denying
huh?
your opponent access to their favorite tractors. Tractors vary from one another in horsepower, tire width, and whether or not they're equipped with a front loader, and each
Ooh,
tractor
front
can
loader.
only be picked once. Once this phase is finished, both teams select 2 power plays, which can do anything from increasing the speed of your tractors to improving grain harvest to denying the enemy team access to the bridges that connect the map.
Whoa,
the way
the
you choose
fuck?
power plays is dependent on your team's strategy and will vary from map to map. The competitive map consists of 5 zones. The spawn zone, which is pretty self-explanatory, the pod zone, which is where the harvesters and balers needed to compete are located. A side note about the pod zone is that the field is mirrored for both teams, and as soon as you get in a harvester or baler, it instantly becomes unavailable for the other team. This is the first tactical move you need to make, as having the right vehicles can be the difference between winning and losing. Also, if one team rushes all 3 harvesters or all 3 balers on their side, they instantly win the game, as the other team can't have one of the vehicles.
Wait, what the
necessary to
fuck? Then that should always be the
This
optimal
is
strategy,
called a
right?
tractor rush. Next,
Charge
we have
the
field
balers?
zone, which is a square field filled with wheat. The harvesters go back and forth on the wheat field, and the balers put them into neat little hay bales. Once the hay bale has been created, it's off to the 4th zone, the
Exit 2
drop-off
gift subs,
zone,
Jack.
where bales of wheat are deposited to earn points. The drop-off zone is connected to the map via drop bridges, which, like the pods in the 2nd zone, are also connected to the opponent's side. That means when you lower a bridge on your side, the same thing happens for your opponents. The 5th and final zone
So how
is
dirty
the
can you
village,
play? Can
where
you
can
hit their
drop off
baler
wheat
with
to
your
increase
baler?
score multiplier.
Tip it over?
This multiplier comes at the cost of slowing down your conveyor belt while speeding up your opponents. But deliver enough wheat to offset your opponent's multiplier, and their belt will overheat and shut down, giving you an opportunity to pull ahead.
Thanks to Resub Dragon.
Striking a proper
And
balance
Blurry.
between the drop-off zone and the village is important to make sure that your opponents don't pull
Sounds
away
good exposed.
and that your conveyor belt doesn't overheat. So now that we've got the gameplay out of the way, you're probably wondering, who the heck plays this mode? And the answer might surprise you. Those who follow competitive NBA 2K or FIFA are probably aware that esports teams are sponsored by actual sports organizations. NBA 2K
oh my god,
like
John Deere sponsors farming simulator events.
And FIFA teams like
Holy
Paris
fuck.
Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, and AS Roma have gone all in supporting esports across multiple titles. And much like Major League Sports, farming, apparently, is no different. Companies like Valtra Tractors, Horman Doors, Trelleborg Wheels, and yes, All-American John Deere sponsor their own farming
Let's go, John
teams,
Deere!
all have professional teams that compete in the Farming Simulator League. These companies have gotten involved over the years as their products have been added into newer iterations of the base game. So when John Deere said to Giants, hey, you guys can use our tractors, they also said, hey, we want to compete in your professional league. Speaking of which, the Farming Simulator League, or FSL,
first place
is a
gets a
competitive
tractor
league
and a can
organized
of
by
chew.
Giant software that takes place in Europe. Debuting in 2019,
a case of
the
Budweiser.
FSL featured a circuit of 10 tournaments across the continent, which was supposed to culminate in a final event at FarmCon 20 in July of 2020. But this league wasn't just a novelty. It boasted a 250,000 euro prize pool, which translates to roughly 280,000 USD, and earned sponsorships from companies like Logitech and Intel. Unfortunately, the circuit was cut short due to the coronavirus, but that didn't stop the league from moving online and the finals taking place in Germany. At FarmCon 20, the FSL finals were held and saw 8 finalist teams competing for the grand prize. The Season 2 finale was a back-and-forth affair, going the distance in a best
oh
set,
fuck, he's going for it. Wait, what
it was
happened?
Trelleborg who managed to take the tournament, winning 28.
Was that a glitch?
5 set back and forth affair.
I'd be tight if I was this team. He got robbed. He was going for like a fucking XXX stunt, ready to hop the river, but he got stuck in midair.
It was Trelleborg who managed to take the tournament, winning 28,000 euros for the team and setting themselves up as the undisputed favorites going into FSL Season 3. Big sponsorships, high-octane gameplay, and incredibly high stakes? This seems like something you're interested in. The FSL Season 3 just started on November 27th, and the tournament circuit will see more high-octane farming in the weeks to come. If you're wondering how you can get involved and start playing, you can download the tournament client for free. Just check the description below. The North American community
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
And the FSL is primarily centered around Europe. But with the rapid growth of esports in every genre, now might be the perfect time to try your hand at being a farmhand. And even if you don't play, you can still watch the FSL live on Twitch. All you need is an internet connection, and of course, a nice cold drink in your hand. Thanks for watching. Are you a fan of simulator games?
Well, that was a lot more intense than I thought it would be. I don't know, man. I bet the meta for Farm Simulator is fucking crazy. Like, I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Farm Simulator meta is just fucking nuts with its optimization. Hey, look down. Thank you for the 5 gift subs, man. Hope you've been well. And thank you for the tier 1, Burton. Is that a suggestion, Bloody Angels, or a question? Looks the bitch plays in it. Let's see I want to see a match now.
It does have, do they have
Is this the tractor rush portion?
The new the John Deere and the Ideal are right.
Oh god, here we go, baby.
This is not an
Woo!
No, this is not good.
And you can see...
Oh, so they go one at a time, so you can't actually triple Baylor rush
Yeah, they
like
only
I
one
thought.
of them, and I think this is clever. I think that's a good decision to make. John Deere grabs the case and the John Deere, and Grimmer has the idea.
This is the John Deere.
As well because they went for
Came
it
back
right
from
away.
the dead just to play
So,
Farming
but
Simulator.
They still don't. There is the New Holland, all good.
Got it.
Next up are the
interesting
presses.
thing with the tractor selections here is
Okay, so what's the next phase?
Has window starts, which could be at minute 8-ish.
Thanks to tier 1 titties and the gift sub Saturn and resub Shrimp Frex and Lamer.
Having the fend gives you a better position to get first bale because you're just that tiny bit faster.
Oh, they're going in on that wheat though. Like this is actually kind of nuts. They must be rocking like some kind of turbo speed perk.
There is.
There is. I was about to say something and I forgot what I was about to say.
Nice.
So good.
So, we're in the preparation phase. Both teams have 2 harvesters on the field. That will be the case till probably minute 9.
This guy.
Then they switch to only 1 harvester.
So they have the harvester come through, grab the wheat, and then this guy comes through and gets like the leakage.
Not doing that now either.
He's just the janitor.
You can see between those 2 balers there the difference in speed. 20 kph was the speed the chrome baler was going at. 22.
Oh, that's the wheat. Okay.
Was going at.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see that extra little bit of speed.
Oh, he's fucking drifting it on him.
And now exactly what I said happens with the fend press. You will get first bale, and Zippy's on his way to grab that one. Nicely done with the harvester.
There's a lot of tactics that go into this. This is exactly what I was afraid of.
Again, he has. Oh no, it's not Narratize. He has the New Holland, of course. We had this slight look at Scotty.
Exit gives blurry.
It's the stacker for Grimme. This guy looked very focused.
Yeah, I know that channel.
Almost angry. He was angry at his Bale. He was like, "Okay, Bale.
Well, let me nuts, Evan.
You will go where I tell you to go."
And there is the first.
Okay, that seems way too fucking intense for me. That is a big brain thinking man's esport. Jesus Christ. Talking about like fucking power play perks and shit. Having to structure your baler and your janitor. Thanks for the tier 1 Brax. I am absolutely afraid to get into Farming Simulator. You stare too long into the abyss stares back into you, man. That shit looks intense. Thanks to Prime Dominatus. Can you watch Adding Humor to Storytelling by Expert Village? Sure. Love Expert Village. Adding humor to storytelling.
On behalf of Expert Village, I am Nicholas, the storyteller.
Hello,
here
Nicholas.
In Miami, Florida.
Are you sure you're not a mage?
I'm going to teach you how to tell a story. Now, a joke is... Yes, it is. Let me illustrate the whole point of a
Nicholas,
good story
watch out!
With a very short...
Someone's casting dark magic.
Once upon a time, there was a man walking through the forest. That's part of the setup. And he ran across a little green frog. That's part of the setup, too. And this frog said, "Sir, if you pick me up and give me a kiss, I will become a gorgeous damsel and lavish my affections upon you."
Wow.
Now all the setup is done. Now we're going to have the conflict. The old man picks up the little frog, puts him in his pocket, and the frog says, "Sir, you were supposed to give me a kiss." Now the climax of the story. But I remember, and I just want a talking frog, that's all.
Well, that was a good tutorial. That was pretty good. Now we know. Thanks to the Prime Christ and the resub Rigo and the Prime Cute. Yep, we watched quite a bit of BattleBots. Oh, Jesus, that'd be such a good combo, Rotok. And that was a 10 out of 10 story. Look up Dan Schneider's scandal at Nickelodeon. That seems a little intense for Twitch. Dan Schneider was kind of fucked. Thanks for the gift sub, Jake. Darkest video game ever. Thanks to the Prime Depresso. Cult Mind. Oh, this is from Nick. I'll start it, but this might be a little much for Twitch as well. Thanks to Prime half shots. Oh, god damn. Thank you for the resub, JC, and thank you for the 20 gift subs, Jake.
To the Tokyo Metro.
Thank you, Jake.
Mothers, fathers, grandparents.
Yeah, let me skim this real quick. I need to make sure there's no, like, bodies or something. Yeah. This looks like someone overdosed. Yeah, there's immediately quite a few bodies. I don't think I can watch this on Twitch. No, it's not a game. So this is from what I'm getting here, this is a cult, and the cult leader wanted to make a game out of some fucked shit. He was also the cult leader behind the Tokyo subway attack, and he was executed by hanging. Probably can't watch this on Twitch. Though I am very curious to see what the fuck that's about, so I'll probably watch it on my own. Thanks to Prime Elemental, and thank you for the 10 gift subs, Jake, again. Thank you, man. No, I haven't watched it yet, Sinan. I have it on another tab on the other screen. Really appreciate it, Jake. Thank you, man. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, actually. Give me just 2 seconds. I'm back, team. He's a tier 1 comic book guy and resub parkour. Yes, I have watched Rough and Rowdy. It's pretty wild stuff. Yeah, I know. I skimmed it. I can't watch this on Twitch. Thanks to Prime Lunch Tray. And the tier 1 sneaky dalties. No, it'd be a stream, I think, Evan. Thanks to Prime Gerfunkable. Look up Maki Ito's singing entrance. This? Nice. Watch Shaq on AEW? What? Shaq gets knocked out by Cody Rhodes. How old is Shaq, man? Like that? I mean, obviously wrestling scripted and shit, but the falls and acrobatics and shit, like that's real. Like, people break bones and like multiple wrestlers have broken their fucking necks doing that. Shaq is old as shit. He's like a hard one. He's 49. He's 49. God damn. Thanks for resub, Steezy. That's not super old, but for something like that, it's pretty old. That's just falling on some pads on fucking cement. Like, that's still not an easy fall to take, especially coming from, what, like 4 feet off the ground on the ring? Like, that is not an easy fall. Straight onto his goddamn ass, too. Oof. Shit would hurt. Thanks to the Prime, Tuscallion. Cracking London's legendary taxi test. Uber is banned because it's not safe? What, and taxis are? What do you mean? It's the exact same thing, right? To be an Uber driver, you have to be background checked and shit. Make sure you're not a psycho. Same thing with taxis, it's the fucking same. The only difference is taxis are kind of like a mafia now, so they've been able to strong-arm places into not accepting Uber, which would make me tight as fuck. Thanks to resub proxy. Oh man, that's crazy too to think. So if Uber's banned in your area, that means you also can't do like Uber Eats and shit, huh? Ugh, you cavemen having to go out and get your fast food instead of just having a nice person deliver it. Ugh. Thanks to the resub Allied Sville and the resub Swan. It's so expensive though. I don't mind the extra cost for the convenience. Plus it feels nice. Like helping out people that are doing it for like a little part-time job on the side. Just normal people just getting a little extra cash on the side. So I don't mind. I didn't call it cheap. I just said, what? I never even said it's cheap. Those words never even left my mouth. Said I don't mind the extra charge. They don't make any money, they make pennies. Since when? 3 of my friends used to do Uber. They made very decent money when they were in between jobs. Whether they change that? When all of a sudden they don't make money anymore? Yep, I've seen that, Rotok. Killdozer, I love Killdozer. That's Erwin Meyer, right? That was his name? Or was it Marvin? I don't fucking remember. But yeah, that's a great story / videos. Thanks for 5 gift subs, Spoonman, and the resub Sucker Punch. Thank you, Spoonman, for the generosity. Yep, I'm familiar with Omletto. We tried to watch an Omletto because we thought it'd be like Darman. That shit's just really sad. It was about a teacher that was hitting on a student at a bar who was like underage or something, or she thought he was underage but was still hitting on him. It was weird. It was fucking weird. Thanks to the Prime Sounding. LeBron-Dell's universe? What is that? What? This? Learn about religions and racism. I don't know about that for Twitch, man. Thanks to the 5 gift subs, movie party in the Prime. Daddy Dingle Sack and Dio Hentai. Appreciate it, movie party. Thank you for the 5, man. Have you ever heard of suction cum jetting machine? Yeah. That was in the GeoGuessr stream, right? Or was it GeoGuessr? I don't recall, but yeah, he was walking around and it was on the side of that boat or whatever. Lamino? Thanks to the resub, colorblind Chris. Yep, I used to watch Junkyard Wars with my dad all the time. That's way too long for just chatting nights, Trippy Max. Those videos are hour plus. Thanks, Bless. Halo Infinite, what they've shown looked like shit. The latest screenshot looks better, but like the gameplay they showed was absolutely abominable. Looked horrible. Like visually looked horrible. Not the gameplay itself, even though it looked pretty slow. Thanks to the resub, Purple Banana Lord and Mo. Not a huge fan of baked car king claps. I also don't really want to watch fucking NBA highlights. I liked Shaq in the ring there, but I don't really want to watch his old NBA highlights. Thanks to the Prime Nick Sauce. And the Prime Bubba Pops. No, I'm not going to voice muted the Doom DLC. It's been out for a little while and I'm probably just not going to play it. I mean, I might, but I probably won't. Yep. I'm very familiar with both of those, Naki. Just probably won't watch them tonight. I don't know the slope. Just that tagline right there makes me worried. We've all seen the Russian sleep experiment. Ancient Gods Part 2. What is that? Oh, Jesus. Name of Doom Eternals DLC. I thought it was a fucking suggestion. So what time is it? It's already almost 2. I might just call it a night. Thanks everyone for tuning in. To everyone who donated, big thank you. New subs, welcome aboard. Sub means a lot to me, so thank you for subbing. I appreciate the generosity. Thanks to Tier 1 Irate. And I think I'm just going to call it a night. It's getting late. And I was up early. And thanks to the Bits G. Sorry, Gabe. But yep, thanks again everyone. Have a wonderful evening and really thank you again for the generosity. It means a ton to me, so thank you very much. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'll throw you to... I don't remember who we did most recently. But I know it's been a while since we went to Umbrella, so I'll toss you to Umbrella. Okay. Thanks again, everyone, and have a great night. See ya. Thanks to the resub, Kieran. See you, everyone.